Hey, good morning, everyone. I am, well, to be honest, I'm kind of bored, so it's time to go live and say hi. All right, we are live. It appears that way. Let me make extra, double, triple sure. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so we have a severe thunderstorm warning. I'm watching this camera. That's what I've been doing. Just sitting here watching the lightning, and as I said in the earlier post I made, these storms are spreading lightning out way far ahead of the main cell. So we're seeing lightning, out of the anvil like 20, 30 miles ahead of the main system here. So that is something you want to think of if you like getting out there watching this kind of stuff. Not the safest bet for you right now, but our latest severe thunderstorm warning includes parts of Natchitoches, Red River, DeSoto, and Sabine Parish. So let's go ahead and take a look at radar now that I got a few of you in here. Let's see. All right. We will go back over there, check things out. And let me take the skits off here, those storm tracks. And here's your warning right now. This storm, watch this. I'm going to put it in motion over the last, let's go, I think half hour. Let's go 45 minutes. That'll catch it. So watch this area of Northern Sabine Parish. Look at that. I mean, it went from nothing, boom, to a massive severe thunderstorm in like 10, 15 minutes. Is that not crazy? So I know probably got some people getting woken up in Natchitoches from this one right now. So I wanted to come on over here and tell you, hey, good morning, good evening, good night, whatever you got there. But you can see some of those darker, like black cores out here. They'll probably warn this one for Center Texas out here in Shelby County. That's probably going to be upgraded to a warning, I would guess, here in just a little bit. Let me take the lightning off. Well, actually, let's look at a count real quick, because that's like I was saying, these are going to wake you up. They're going to signal that they are coming your way, because it's going to get loud as these storms. I mean, look at that lightning now over the last, and this is just in the map view here, but we've gone from, what is that, 650 up to about 1,300 strikes. So we have doubled this in the last half hour, 45 minutes. A lot of lightning going on there. Numbers on the live stream are not going to be there yet because this has not woken everyone up here in Alexandria yet. So welcome in Natchitoches and Manny, folks, as you have probably seen plenty of lightning and heard plenty of thunder out of these. So making sure, okay, good. So what's happening now? We have a severe thunderstorm watch, severe thunderstorm warning for Natchitoches and parts of Sabine Parish. Not into Rapides at all just yet, but this whole cluster out here is going to make its way toward us over the next, I would say, 2-ish hours here in Alexandria, and then it's going to probably sweep through the area by about 5 or 6 o'clock this morning. And you can see, again, those intense cores, those black areas. That's where we're going to see the potential for some hail. Let's get down in on this and really get in close here. Best chance for hail right now around Powhatan. Campty, you're in line for this as well. And then down into Natchitoches right now, where I've been watching the camera, a lot of lightning going on, and you're not quite in the warning in town, but along 49 from around that exit to get into Natchitoches and then points north up toward Ajax. That's where this warning is right now. And those black and pink cores, that's where we most likely see some hail. Let's go ahead and see what the estimated hail size is on this, and got all kinds of different little noise. And now I don't think it's 4 inches in diameter. Let's not do that. Actually, you know what? Since we don't have an imminent tornado threat, first off, I think hail and wind are going to be the main threat. I have not seen a lot of rotation in the low levels out of this. So what we're going to do, we're going to play, because that's what we can do. Let's go in, do a volume scan on this, and just cut this storm and see what we have going on here. We can basically take a vertical slice through the storm and then look at the vertical profile of it, and that is just exactly, wow, that thing is going to be dropping some hail right there. Again, near Campty, Powhatan, that area, that's where this is going to be. Let me do this, and that gives you a really good look at a suspended hail core that, well, first off, the tops on this thing, on this storm, are up above, well above 50,000 feet, about 52 to 54,000 feet, and we have a very deep layer here showing that I'm going to slide right through it. Yeah, that shows that hail core is still pretty much suspended aloft, about 10,000 to 35,000 feet up. This thing's going to come falling down. That's what hail cores do. They don't float around up there forever. That thing's going to come down, and it's going to produce some hail, possibly up to the size of, I would say, $half, maybe golf balls. And we'll be watching this closely as it goes over the next 15 minutes or so. But this storm, relatively new, so it's still in like updraft mode. It's still increasing in intensity here. Again, like I said, I don't think we have a high threat for a tornado or anything like that. Let me see if I can maybe step back a little bit in time. It's going to be hard to loop that because I can't follow along exactly with it. So anyway, let me go back out and show you the big map there. It's just always interesting to see that hail core being suspended right there. That means that thing is going to fall out, and it's going to cause some problems up there in parts of Natchitoches Parish. So back to the main map, back to the regular radar. And yeah, there you go. You can see that suspended hail core right there, just west of Campty. If you are anywhere around Campty, Powhatan, Natchitoches, you're probably seeing heavy rain and small hail. But down toward Provençal, I see that question about that. You're on the southern flank of this storm. Let's put things in motion over the last 45 minutes. And that severe thunderstorm warning just kind of clipping your area. But the worst of things looks like it's to your north. Just to show you the storm velocity in this thing, you know, there's no real strong rotation showing up here. I see a little weak rotation in there. Let's go up a little higher. Actually, let's go down to Lake Charles. Yeah, not seeing a deep sustained mesocyclone or anything like that. I'll put it in motion. I do this just so it's more for me, and you can see it's more like surging out as like a bow echo almost in there. So we're seeing more of a wind threat and a hail threat and a wind-driven hail threat with this storm over Natchitoches Parish. So that severe thunderstorm warning goes until, let's see, 1:45. I will pull up the text on this, and that way I'll read this to you. Okay, they canceled a part of that warning. I believe that was for parts of DeSoto Parish. But at 12:58 a.m., that's 11 minutes ago, severe thunderstorms located along a line from near Coshada to 15 miles north of Manny or along a, it's another, they're going to tell you again where that is. 60-mile-per-hour wind gust and quarter-size hail, your main threat. Looks like we've had another scan, and yeah, that hail is coming right on into Campty. Powhatan and Campty, you are in the hail, probably seeing that right now. So if you are in those areas, please let me know if you're seeing some hail. Don't go outside and try to pick it up or anything. This could actually be some pretty significant hail with the hail core that I'm seeing on this storm right now. Let's go over and take a look at the camera in Natchitoches right now, as it looks like we are in the storm now. So here is your, yeah, we're right in the thick of it. I'm going to actually pull up this sensor and hopefully get some more real-time data. But that just kind of shows you what's happening right now in Natchitoches. It's loud. This is why you're tuning in. You're hearing all this going on right now. And the lightning is basically continuous with this storm. So these are going to be very loud storms. Wind gust, maximum wind gust I've seen is not much here. And we're on top of Turpin Stadium. So this camera view right here, the highest gust, we're up to 13 now. We've seen gusts of about 15. So that's at least a little bit of good news for right now, not seeing that. But yeah, pure just loudness and craziness going on. And please, please do not strike the camera here. I do not want to see that happen. 74, dew point 70, very rich, moisture-laden atmosphere here. And then when you get higher up in the atmosphere, the lapse rates or the cooling that we see aloft, very conducive for hail-producing thunderstorms. And we're seeing this right now up around Campty. Let me go ahead and obviously Natchitoches, we know what's happening here. Blinding rain, continuous lightning, and a severe thunderstorm in the area. And this is what it looks like on radar. Let's go ahead and pop up that lightning again. That's why it looks like continuous lightning, because it's basically continuous lightning. So counting that and let's just focus on this storm. How much lightning do we have there? 350 strikes in the last 15 minutes. This thing is filled with lightning. It's filled with hail and lots of heavy rainfall. And it looks like another cell is trying to, that cell over Natchitoches is probably trying to increase just a little bit here. So let's put things in motion. I was confused because I still had that camera up there. Lightning like crazy near Montgomery. Yeah, right there. You can see that's Montgomery. You're looking off to the west and seeing piles of lightning out there right now. So we've gone from about 650 strikes 45 minutes ago. We're almost to 1,700 now. These storms really coming together. So I'm going to go back over into the we're not going to just sit here and look at the lightning, but I want to show you the future track on this is the most recent high resolution model that we're getting. And this is going to show us kind of where these storms are going over the next little while, but it is absolutely loaded up with lightning. There you go. There is the next few hours. Could see some cells trying to form down here south of Alexandria. Now, I've seen this run, and watch what it does around Alexandria. It just, like, we kind of slip right through this. I don't think that's going to happen, and then you can see some more stuff fills in behind that. But the thing I'm really noticing here is that the worst of this is going to get through most of the area by about 5:30 a.m. I had initially thought maybe 7 or 8, but this should be long gone by then and impacting New Orleans and Baton Rouge. They have not expanded the watch as of yet. Let's go back to radar and take a look at that. But they have not expanded the watch. I fully expect that to happen. And one of the things when I'm doing these lives, I miss out on some of the discussions that are going on. I don't see, they're not saying anything about that. I'm just kind of monitoring this. And yeah, the wind speeds have stayed in check. So that's a little bit of good news here. We're not seeing the wind even up on the top of the stadium there in Natchitoches. So a little bit of encouragement there. It looks like hail is going to be your main issue. And when I take that lightning off, I'll show you what I'm talking about. We just did a vertical slice through this storm, and we had that hail core suspended up. So let's go ahead and see what it looks like right now. Volume. Okay, we're just going to cut a slice through the storm. This allows us to see that vertical profile. And you can see now that black, we have another updraft going up there on the southern flank of this, and I think that's what we're going to continue to see. But basically, a few minutes ago when we were going through this, we had that hail core really suspended up high. Now you can see there's still this area right here where we have a big hail core up around 35,000 feet. The other one is falling out of the storm now. That's probably impacting the ground. You're probably seeing quarter to golf ball sized hail out of this one. And then we have this other cell right over Natchitoches that is intensifying right now and has a pretty decent hail core suspended up there as well. So I'm not going to do that continually, but that is just to show you that we have a lot of hail in place with these storms. And it looks like we are going to see more of the same with these cells that are moving out of Texas. We've kind of seen what these are going to do, and we're keeping the instability there. It was 75 with a dew point of 70 when the sun was out earlier, 6-7 hours ago. Now we're still at that level, so we're not seeing much of a loss of the instability with this system. Let me go in, show you where the worst of this one is right now. Natchitoches, you very well could be seeing some hail over in town right now, right in there in downtown, and then up toward Campty, Fairview, Alpha, that area. Powhatan, you're on the back side of this, so we are looking better there. But lots of lightning, lots of rainfall, and hail mixing in. Please do let me know if you're seeing any hail or if you've had any other issues with this storm as it comes through. How far off from Winfield? Not too far. Let's see. You are 25 miles away. Clear that. Hailing in Natchitoches. Any idea how big? I'm sure it's just like loud and nasty right now. I'm not asking you to go out or anything. Not asking you to do anything crazy, but if you have any sort of read on the size, that would be good information. Anyone seeing hail in Natchitoches or anywhere, please do let us know. As of 1:10 a.m., storm in Natchitoches continues to increase. Could see hail upwards of 2.5 inches in this one now. And that's, again, mainly going to be up in, I think, in that northern core. But when we look at the last 30 minutes, watch this. You can see that cell that's developed on the southern flank there. That thing... That's the one that really just fired quickly out there in central Sabine Parish, and it moved up over Natchitoches. So that thing's still increasing right up there around Bethel. We're seeing some of those stronger returns showing up on radar. So a hail-producing storm for sure. We've already had reports of that, and I'm just kind of looking to see what you're seeing through this storm. It looks like the worst of this definitely going to be up on the northern side of Natchitoches and then up toward Campty. That's where we have the strongest hail signatures coming in. And this is all like this storm, and then behind it, this storm out here, this is all going to continue to slide onto the east overnight. So we're going to have several hours of this. Ball, yeah, down the road, you're going to be getting hit. This whole thing's going to sweep through. So we're all going to see this if you have not seen it yet. And the only ones who have so far have been northern Sabine and northern Natchitoches Parish. So it's about to wake you up in Winfield, most likely. Let's see the lightning. You can see a few of those strikes again coming way out ahead of this in that anvil. Let me pull up Lake Charles. This should show the anvil better. So that shows you the top of the storm. We have all that suspended rain and hail, that lighter stuff way up. I mean, we're looking up, we're over 20,000 feet in the atmosphere here. So that anvil, that overshooting top coming up right here, then the anvil shoots down this way, and you can just see how big that is. I mean, they're seeing that down to Winnsboro right now, so this is advanced 50 to 60 miles out ahead of this main storm, and we get the lightning that goes out ahead of it as well, and our lightning has continued to tick up. We're at 1,700-ish strikes in the last 15 minutes. That's up from 1,200 just a little while ago, and up from about 650 here about 45 minutes ago. So just to recap, we do have severe thunderstorm warnings in place right now for parts of, well, it's just pretty much Natchitoches Parish at this point. So it's pretty much ending for, yeah, Sabine's out of the warning now. But look down here. Starting to see these little elements trying to develop down here. And we saw this cell come together in about 15 minutes. That southern flank really took over. And I think we could see that happen with these down here. So I'll be watching these little elements that are coming up from the southwest. But I'm going to stay with this one simply because we have a pretty good hail core showing up with this right over Clarence right now. So if you are in Clarence, if you're in Natchitoches, possibly some... It's hailing in North Natchitoches, close by Clarence. Yeah, you're right underneath that. That is where we are seeing the strongest hail signature. That's over. That's off the Lake Charles radar. Let's go back here and take a look. Yeah, it's lined up very well there. Severe thunderstorm warning. Looks like they just reissued a new warning. This is going to clip parts of Grant, Wynne, and up here into Bienville Parish. Let's read the text on it. See what we got. I'm mainly interested to see what they're doing with the hail size on this. Oh, did I lose you, Natchitoches camera? Let's see. No, we're good. Okay, severe thunderstorm warning. This is for hail up to 2 inches in diameter. That would be just bigger than golf ball. I believe that's hen egg size. They get creative with the descriptions. This is for West Central Grant, Western Wynne, South Central Bienville, Central Natchitoches Parish, and Northeastern Red River in Louisiana. At 1:18, severe thunderstorms located along a line from 14 miles southeast of Ringgold to 7 miles south of Natchitoches, along a line from 26 miles west of Jonesboro to 7 miles south of Natchitoches, moving east at 15, so not moving terribly fast right now. 2-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Those are your main threats. Locations impacted, obviously, Natchitoches and Campty. You know that. Montgomery, Provençal, Natchez, Martin, Clarence, Galdana, Saline, Lucky, Ashland, Robeline, Powhatan, Clear Lake, Creston, Grand Ecore, Black Lake, St. Maurice, Chestnut, and Bermuda. Those are the areas that are in line for this one right now, and this storm is going to continue. I don't see anything that would impede this one as it heads on toward Winfield, Gina down the line, perhaps Alla, and then up into Pacton, Williana, Georgetown, Montgomery, Dry Prong, perhaps. And if you don't see this storm, again, we have others that are lined up and waiting to party. So they have not expanded that severe thunderstorm watch. I think they will. Probably should, and that's kind of what I think is going to happen. And all I'm doing is putting up a different camera. Just so I'm gonna put up Gina in the background so I can see if I have any lightning out in the distance there. As I expect, I'll be able to see that fairly shortly. But right now, not seeing too much on it. So to recap, we have that severe thunderstorm warning in place now. This one goes until 2. That is for 2-inch diameter hail. That's going to be your main threat. Did not see the wind really pick up with this one as it came through the site there in Natchitoches. So that is at least some small bit of good news. But if you are around Clarence toward Cooley, I'm not sure if I'm saying that one right. If you're in that area, you've got some pretty sizable hail up to 2 inches in diameter possible. The Barron button, yeah, it shows this is just a way to show kind of hail and other things like that. Let me see. This is like kind of one of the old school things that I used to use way back in the day. But yeah, we're showing 2-inch, 1.5-inch hail. Still possibly hailing over Campty, but let me see if I got any more reports. Hailing on I-49 north of Natchitoches, yeah. Just got one for Grant. Dime to quarter-size hail in Hazelwood. Thanks, Dan. It's coming toward Alexandria. It's just going to take a while. It shouldn't be bad. It's basically, I mean, it's going to be bad now. I'm saying it's not going to be bad. I see about the appointment in Shreveport. Unless you're leaving like now, you're good. By 5 in the morning, most of this is going to be cleared through the area. 5 or 6 o'clock, it's all gone. So let's put things in motion. Well, first off, let me look at the velocity. I'm still not seeing anything that says there's a tornado threat. I fully expect that if we get a watch, which we should, that will be a severe thunderstorm watch, and we're going to see a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings out of these. This is kind of playing out like I thought, with hail being our main issue, and then the damaging wind kind of being a secondary threat, although SPC did up us to a 45% risk for the damaging winds. I think as this thing forms into a line and starts to bow out, that's when we're going to have a better chance to see that wind damage possibly. So to recap, once again, we have severe thunderstorm watch in place until 2. That will be extended and expanded, I do believe. The threat for this storm right now, this Natchitoches Parish storm that's also including parts of Grant and Wynn, that is now, they've tagged this a considerable threat for damage, and it's mainly due to the hail. This is going to be going right down Highway 84, basically from Clarence toward Winfield. I don't see anything to kind of impede this. Now, we could see the hail, we could see that core shift and things like that, but for now, if you're in that warning and you have the chance and you're out ahead of this thing, get the car in the garage or get it covered as best you can, because yes, it does look like we will see some significant hail out of this storm, and we're already getting reports of up to quarter-sized hail that I've seen there in the comments. Yep, soon coordinating a new severe thunderstorm watch that will encompass the eastern half of our region. They're talking about Shreveport. That's the Shreveport National Weather Service office. Okay. Oh, okay, good. They just put out an MD mesoscale discussion. Let me see. Okay. Oh, actually, that's the old one. Isolated thunderstorms developing. Blah blah. So they're saying basically the forcing for new development is not that strong. Unfortunately, what we're seeing here is that it's strong enough, and then once these storms do get fired up, it's like when you have when you have instability in place, it's like you take a balloon or a beach ball and you take it to the bottom of the pool and you let it go. It's going to go up until it hits the top of that water, and then it's going to pop out. That's your overshooting top, and that's as far as it's going to go, but it's going to freely move up. It's not going to have anything that's going to impede it. So once we get that updraft going, that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing some very intense stuff. So Clarence down Highway 84 toward Winfield, that's where we have the worst of this one right now. But up Creston, Camp D, down into Natchitoches, you're still getting hammered with this storm as it continues to roll on through. Let's go back, take a look at the camera. It's still rocking and rolling. No, not that. We don't want that. Yeah, this is from the roof of Turpin Stadium. It's down to 70. Dew point's still 68. So even with this storm fully just absolutely plowing through this area, it's shifted the winds around to the west-southwest, but it's not scouring out the moisture or anything. So we're not getting that big cool down draft or anything. We are seeing this storm tapping into that instability and producing lots of rainfall, lots of hail, all kinds of craziness out there. And again, we have a new severe thunderstorm watch that's going to be coming. It's probably going to end up going until like 8 or 9, but it's going to get canceled for parts of the area as these storms continue to sweep through. So I think the threat ends by about 5 or 6. That is the way I'm looking at it right now. Weather. Okay, let's go back to radar. That's Natchitoches right now, still pretty chaotic and loud out there. And that is your severe thunderstorm warning, a significant threat for severe weather with this warning, as we have the threat for some large hail up to 2 inches in diameter. Let's go over and look at one of the storm tracks on this. Whoops, get out of there. Let's go with this one. Hail size 2 inches. Now, it's seeing that hail suspended aloft, so that doesn't mean you're getting that down at the ground. Let's see what this one, yeah, it's 2 inches also. And the good news is the BTI is 2.7. That means the tornado threat is really low. So this severe thunderstorm is mainly driven by the hail threat. Can't rule out some damaging wind as well, but this one is going to not only have that hail threat, it's going to have absolutely lots of lightning. And there's your kind of trailing line of storms that's out to the west of that. And this is all going to continue to shove on toward Toledo Bend. And then eventually this line, I think, here is what comes through the area. I'm also watching as these cells try to feed up. Once these do feed into this, yes, we could see some cell mergers, and that could increase the hail threat as we get later into the evening. But if you are anywhere in this warning right here, which probably gets expanded pretty shortly into the rest of Wynn Parish, like if you're in Winfield right now, go ahead and plan for this. It's going to be loud, and it's going to produce some hail, most likely, at least nearby. We have a couple of hail cores in there around Creston, and then down toward just east of Clarence toward Cooley, and that's going to continue to push on through western Wynn Parish and move out of Natchitoches Parish in the next 10-15 minutes. So Natchitoches, you are just about through this one. It's just now clearing the interstate there right at exit 138, and that's going to continue to move through quickly. These it said 15 miles per hour. I don't buy that. I think this is moving faster than that. Let's see if the updated warning had anything different on that one. All right, the speed on this one, yeah, it says moving east at 15. I think it's moving faster than 15 though. Maybe it's because that new cell developed and made their algorithm look a little wonky or something. But storms continue out there. And then to the west, we have storms that are going to continue to develop and intensify over the next few hours. All models have been indicating this. So no big surprise here. But the surprise might be the fact that you are seeing some crazy hail out of this if you are up in that warning. If you love the light shows, just turn on the camera. You can take a look at that. You can go there and see what we have going on the cameras on the website and the app, and you can watch that lightning. Yeah, dime-size hail on MPing. I'm guessing that was Dan who reported that. But this storm, it means business. Thankfully, the tornado threat's super low from what I'm seeing right now. I'm not seeing any real rotation in this thing. And I'm just pulling it up on radar scope and looking at that. If I see any sort of mid-level rotation, that's going to be east of Campty, west of Calvin, but it's not something that we are overly concerned with right now. More storms moving in from East Texas into West Louisiana, and that's going to continue into Sabine Parish. Kind of surprised they haven't warned that one yet, but they have a special weather statement out for winds about 40, 50 miles per hour. Are you okay to sleep in, Boyce? Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a big tornado threat. I mean, it's going to be hail and I'm not saying it's going to hail in Boyce, but the main threat with these storms, it's going to be hail, it's going to be damaging wind, and then kind of way down on the spectrum, yes, it's obviously a big deal if there's a tornado warning, but it just doesn't look like we're set up for that. The low-level wind shear is not really strong, and just seeing what I'm seeing with these initial storms, even these isolated, more supercellular type storms, I'm not seeing any sort of strong rotation in with those. I'm seeing these black dots in here, and that typically means lots of hail. So if you are in the path of this one, if you're in the warning, you need to, if you're in the warning, you're in the storm now, but just giving you some lead time down toward Calvin, Dodson, Winfield, Pacton, Williana down the line, Georgetown, Urania, Alla, that's probably still about an hour away. You want to be ready because this storm has really fired up and it doesn't look like it's weakening any. Just seeing if they're discussing anything over here. Let me know if you have any hail reports, any sort of damage reports, anything like that. Certainly interested in what you have to say there. That lets me know some ground truth of what I'm seeing on radar, because I can see it saying there's 2-inch hail, but if we don't see it happening, that's not the most accurate thing that I can say. So I like to be as accurate as possible. Let me see. Calming down. Oh, really? So Charlene, you said the hail lasted a long time and it was consistent. Was that in Natchitoches? Let's see. There's no other. If that was in Natchitoches, that's not surprising. Anywhere really in this. I mean, you can just see how that hail, and I'll do a volume scan again to show you kind of what this storm looks like in the vertical. Let's go through it like this. And I want to cut through the worst of it. So again, this is just to show you kind of a vertical profile of the storm. And that doesn't look quite as crazy right there where I cut through it, but you can see right there, that's a hail core that's suspended up, that's 30,000 feet right there. So 20,000, 10,000, from about 15 to 30,000 feet, another hail core is suspended up here. That's going to fall out, and that is going to produce some big problems. They're continuing the severe thunderstorm warning. They've put hail sizes down to 1.5 inches now, but this is going to be kind of fluid. It's going to pulse up and down. And you can see in these areas that hail is closer to the ground. That's falling out of the cloud right then. Here comes the new updraft, though, and that's where we have that hail that is higher up in the air, and that's all going to fall out here shortly. I can't be yawning yet. Come on, Nick, wake up. Just getting started. Severe thunderstorm warning continues. Let's see. So the new severe thunderstorm watch will be in effect until 8. It will encompass a good chunk of this. This is the severe, or this is the Shreveport's. They're talking about this. So I just know it's a new watch coming. It's going to include parts of northeast Texas through north Louisiana, and then probably, I would assume, further down into southern and central Louisiana as well. So, Gina, down the line, it is coming for you. Yes, you will see some storminess, but I don't know if you'll see the hail just yet. That's going to be, we're going to know that maybe 15, 20 minutes out. That's when we're starting to see that's when we can really say, okay, yes, you're going to see storms, and then I can get specific and say, like Winfield right now, you're going to probably see at least some small hail out of this, possibly some strong wind, but really this one, it looks like it's been more of a hail threat than a wind threat. So, Oakdale, it's probably 2 to 3 hours later. All right, let's put it in motion. I'm going to clear everything off, all the watches and warnings. No more clutter there. But yeah, that's your next line. That's the one that's going to come across Toledo Bend into Sabine Parish. This is eventually going to move down into our area, and this is the one that's probably going to sweep through Alexandria. Also getting, again, some of those little elements coming up from the southwest. These could go very quickly. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Let's go back. I'm going to just go back 2 hours so I can show you what happened with this storm and how crazy this was. But so like 12:19 a.m., this is, 1 hour and 15 minutes ago. Watch this over just north of Manny. Watch this. Now watch the time. Okay, so that's when it begins. 12:31, we start to see something happen there north of Manny. By 12:41, 10 minutes later, we have a severe thunderstorm. I mean, that is crazy how fast that happened. And then on the southern flank of that, we get another one that formed over Natchitoches, and then there's that cell that continues on to the east toward Winfield. Let me go back to the shorter loop, and yeah, then I'm going to put the warnings back up so I don't forget that. But I would expect a downstream warning here to include most of the rest of Wynn Parish, perhaps parts of northern Grant, and up here into southern parts of Bienville Parish, and then maybe down the line toward like Jonesboro, you might get in on this as well. But yeah, that's the storm we're watching right now most closely. Lots of lightning with it. There you go. Counter. 428 strikes in the last 15 minutes. So continuous lightning in the stronger cores with this storm. And then we're seeing that also with these cells out to the west. No lightning in these just yet, but 2,171 strikes, 2380. It takes whatever's in that radar view there. Let's go and take a look at something here. I'm going to wait for this next warning to come out. Might take well, I'm not going to take a break right now, though. That thing looks pretty nasty. Probably seeing some hail right along Highway 84. There's the new watch. Includes Alexandria. You probably get notifications on your phone right there now. A severe thunderstorm watch for the entire area. So that keeps it nice and easy. Severe thunderstorm watch until 8 a.m., like I said. I think this is going to cut off a little bit sooner than that because I think everything kind of moves out by about 5 or 6. And that, I'm talking St. Landry and Avoyelles Parish for that. So about 6 o'clock should be sweeping out of here, but we have 4.5 more hours of action here over the next 4.5 hours. Doing my math right. All right, severe thunderstorm watch coming out. Okay, they've got the watch out. Okay, we have all of our latest information there. Just kind of waiting to see when they extend this warning because that hail core is just about to move outside of the warning box there. So if you are in Winfield, you got a few minutes to garage the car or get it under a gas station awning or something like that, because this probably contains hail at least to the size of ping pong balls, moving right down 84 there. Okay, pea size. That's good. Yeah, that's what I was saying. You said that it's so loud in Natchitoches Parish. That's the thing with this with this kind of setup, these storms have a ton of ice, a lot of friction going on in them, so you're going to have tons of lightning, and it's going to be loud when these come through, and you're going to know it. And then you combine that with some hail, yeah, going to be wild and crazy. But that right there, it's pretty obvious. That is your main hail core right there along Highway 84 between Clarence and Winfield. It's about halfway between, and that's going to be moving. I mean, now this is 12 miles to Winfield. So you have, 15, 20 minutes before the worst of this gets there. But hail is going to be your main threat. If you're just tuning in, Severe Thunderstorm Watch until 8 a.m. was just issued. Hey, it's better than a tornado watch, but unfortunately, these storms, they do mean business. They have been producing hail, at least to the size of quarters I've seen, and maybe that's an update. My goodness, wow. That is that's a nasty looking core right there. That's that one we were just looking at that was suspended, and that's most likely what we were looking at, and that's all falling out right now. So along 84, about 10, 12 miles west of Winfield, there's our new warning until 2:30. Hasn't even hit the chat yet, or has it? No, it has. I lied. Okay. Southwestern, this is a severe thunderstorm warning. Okay, Marshall Tucker Band, I love you, but we're good. We already had your show. You can get on out of here. Severe thunderstorm warning for southwestern Caldwell Parish, northern Grant, southern Jackson, northwestern LaSalle. So they went way out with this one. Good move. All of Wynn Parish and northeastern Natchitoches Parish at 1:37 a.m. Severe thunderstorms located along a line from 15 miles southwest of Jonesboro to over Montgomery, or along a line from 15 miles southwest of Jonesboro to 11 miles east of Natchitoches, moving east at 40. See, that's more like it. That's what I'm thinking we're going to have with this. Golf ball-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. That's your main issue with this one. Locations impacted: Winfield, Jonesboro, Alla, Montgomery, Urania, Chatham, Hodge, Galdana, Tullis, Dodson, Georgetown, East Hodge, Ashland, Calvin, Atlanta, Sykes, Joyce, Hudson, Williana, and Rochelle. And that is a nasty looking core right there. So let's go and see. Let's see what it looks like on a different radar. Kind of interesting to see these. See, that's further up. So that's looking from the Lake Charles radar. So we're seeing higher up into it. And that shows me that hail core is right now falling out. So that's somewhat encouraging, slightly encouraging news for Winfield, but it could pulse up yet again. So we'll be watching that. But right now, it looks like that hail is falling out. If you're on Highway 84 near Gum Springs Road, that is right where this thing's going to be coming through. East Thomas Road, Lakeshore Drive, but Gum Springs Road, that's where that hail core is right now. And let's see what the storm tracking information says. I'm guessing it's going to be a little over the top here. Yeah, it's showing possibly baseball-sized hail, at least in the storm. The melting level is around 9,500 to 10,000 feet, so we get some melting of this. But remember, a baseball falling at terminal velocity, falling at about 120 miles per hour. So it's not going to take but like 30 seconds to get there from 10,000 feet. So I know I just did a lot of weird math there, but that basically shows me that this, you get a baseball-sized piece of hail aloft, 30 seconds falling through the air mass. I mean, how much is that really going to melt? It's probably not going to melt much. You probably get it down to maybe 2 inches. So golf ball to egg-sized hail, very likely with this one, as there is just a ton of moisture in this thing, or a ton of vertically integrated liquid. That's where the Vil density is. So we're not going to get too technical, though, because that's not what we do here, right? We keep it simple, and that's why I'm good at it, because I wasn't that smart in college. I did not get the good grades and all the crazy math stuff. All I cared about was the weather classes. I got through the calculus. You could put the simplest stuff in front of me now, I'd be like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So that is the severe thunderstorm warning we're watching right now. This old warning will probably be allowed to expire. Actually, the new warning pretty much holds all of that storm inside of it. So yeah, there's your watch until 8. That's the big game in town right now, that storm that is over Wynn Parish. Mostly Wynn. Natchitoches, you're pretty much out of the woods on this one as this thing continues to move on to the east. But that hail core right along Highway 84 still looks very stout. I'm just looking at some velocity stuff here to see if there's anything to show you. And really all I'm seeing is kind of a convergence signature. So I'm not seeing rotation out of this. So what I'm seeing is, yes, there are reds and greens coming together, but this is not like a strong rotation that would be something I would say that's producing a tornado. This is going to be one that actually, let me see if they're even calling this tornado possible. They have thunderstorm damage threat considerable, hail threat, radar indicated, blah, blah. Okay, they don't even have the tornado possible tag. So that's good news. I mean, if we're going to get hail, that's bad enough. We don't want to see the tornado threat. But yeah, so that hail core 5 minutes ago looked a lot different. Now that thing that's falling out. So hail is tough to, you know, it's going to go up. You're going to see that hail form. And as that falls out, it's going to kind of cycle like we talk about cycling supercells with tornadoes. That happens with hail also. So you'll see it, you know, pulse up and down. Right now, we're in a slight downward phase, but I would still estimate we have at least quarter-sized hail out of that. Let me look, and this is mainly for when we have the hail, that's when you're going to see me using these volume scans a lot more, where I can go, or I can look at the vertical in these storms. So let's go ahead and do it. Take a slice. Go through the beef of it right there, and yeah, there's another one suspending up there right now. That's a nasty looking cell. Let me get, we'll do this. No tornadoes is good. You're right. It's the simple things in life. No tornadoes, good. Hail, bad, but you know, not a tornado. So there is where that hail core was falling out. You see how that's dark right there by the ground. In the lower levels, but a new hail core trying to suspend aloft. I'm going to try something. My cat's going insane. I'm going to let her in, but if she hops up on this, she's getting booted. 1 second. Yeah, you better be nice. That is my snuggle buddy, and she is like, why are you not in here? It is late. You should be in bed, Dada. I hear you, honey. It's okay. All right, let's go ahead and go back to the regular radar. There is your severe thunderstorm warning right now. That hail core going right down 84. Signing off for now to catch up later as it gets close to Boise. I got you. That makes sense. Hey, settle down. Okay. I can't get my beauty sleep either. I get it, man. It's rough. A little more quiet in Natchitoches. No, I think you're good now. Natchitoches, like, you have this line back behind. It could scrape through that area, and honestly, with the fact that you have not seen the temperatures really drop that much, yeah, it's possible you see more. I don't think it'll be a repeat of this, but we're going to go ahead and just keep an eye on that. You're still in that severe thunderstorm watch. It's down to 68 or 67, dew point 66. When this came through, it was 75-ish with the dew point around 70 or 71. So it has cooled off some, but it's still, I think we have enough juice out there where we could see some severe weather, and I'm seeing new lightning on the western horizon now as I look at that camera. So showers and thunderstorms trying to develop down here toward Lake Charles. That line back there, that's the one that's probably going to be moving right on through Alexandria here in the next couple hours. And no, that's the problem. You get up there and we have issues. Sorry, sweetheart. You want to say hi to everybody? All right. This is the little menace. I'm going to put you down because you can't turn things off, okay? All right. We'll see how this goes, but she's about to get booted out. Okay, she went up in her spot in the window. I apologize. Trust me, if there were tornadoes touching down, I would not be playing with the cat, but we do have a severe thunderstorm moving into Winfield right now. If you are in Winfield, I'm sure you're awake. I would guess that a lot of my viewers right now are from Wynn Parish because look at that lightning. In the last 15 minutes, over 500 strikes, 526 strikes, and that is increasing, actually. If we go back a little bit here, 405, look at that thing just pulsing up, 547 now. Just absolutely full of lightning. I can't see anything when I zoom in, so lightning, you're going away. But that storm has some hail with it. That's the one we've been watching going right down 84 there, and there could be hail up to golf ball size, according to the warning. We are in a little phase where it looks like it might be a touch smaller than that, but Let me know what you're seeing. Yeah, I'm gonna be covering it in real time for the most part. I mean, we don't have tornadoes, so great news there, but hail, significant hail like this can be a major issue as well. This can cause damage to vehicles, roofs, um, anything and everything out there. It can also cause some very serious crop damage, and that's the, well, I don't want to say the main concern, but that is a big, big concern because that can just wipe out an entire crop, and I know a lot of things have just been planted. So, that is another concern. Looks like we have another scan coming in. You said, what about Ruston? Looks like everything is passing a little bit north of you for right now. You might slip through that. So that's some good news. Yeah, Randy, this cat is in love with me, and it's mutual. You know, we have a very snuggly relationship. She is a sweetheart, and she is my best bud. So it looks like we have another hail core that is falling out just west of Atlanta near Sardis. This is south of 84. Along 84, I would estimate you're still probably seeing dime to quarter size hail. These black cores, that's when we could see the golf balls falling out. And this is not going to be exact. This is radar. It's showing you what it's seeing, but we could see that tilting and falling. It might not be falling exactly in that spot. It could be a half mile or so away or something. It's like with tornadoes. That's another thing we see on radar. It's just it's tough to. The storms aren't entirely just in the vertical. They're kind of tilted, especially when they're severe. Tilts the updraft, so the updraft and downdraft don't fight each other. So this hail core, what we're seeing here, it's going to be close to ground truth. But if you're in Atlanta, I would go ahead and say you're probably about to see some hail start falling. Winfield and Dodson, you're just kind of getting into it now, and it's probably going to be a good half hour. It's moving at 40 miles per hour, so 30, 40 minutes of really rough action is what I'm thinking, and then hopefully you don't get a second wave of this. Let's see. Warning, that was that. Okay. Yeah, nothing new that I'm mainly looking to see if they have reports coming in. Nasty and Calvin, yeah, you're right in it. I mean, looking at the lightning too, you're right in the thick of it in Calvin. So Atlanta, let's look at a different, let's look at the Lake Charles radar, see it's just, yeah, so this hail's falling out and it's suspended up there, so this is going to probably last for the next 5-10 minutes. Winfield could be seeing hail shortly, and then down toward Atlanta and Sardis, that's where the larger hail should be coming through. Velocity on the Lake Charles radar, it doesn't, I mean, it's a supercell for sure. You can see the convergence right there. This is a supercell for sure. But it's not one of those that I see the high potential for a tornado to develop. Let's take the big picture view. Let's take everything off, put it in motion for the last 30 minutes. That's all we really need. And there's your one supercell moving through Wind Parish. And then this thing looks like it's forming more into a line, probably going to become some sort of a bow echo here in the next hour or two, especially as it starts to engulf some of these cells that are developing down to the south. So there goes cell number one, and here comes that second wave that's going to produce perhaps some severe warnings for the rest of the area. So if you're anywhere in the viewing area, I can't clear anyone out of this yet. Let's go over and look at the camera. Let's look at Toledo Bend right now and see what it's looking like. I'm guessing we're seeing some pretty thick lightning there. Still seeing it in Natchitoches. 66 now there, dew point 65. Let's look west and see what we have going on here. I'm actually going to move this camera just a shade. Let's go. We're going to face it a little more northwest. Come on, why do you do that? It'll just start spinning on me. Okay, so I'll let that reset. We'll go back in and take a look at radar because not much going on there, but some scattered lightning. But that is your severe thunderstorm right now that we're watching. You can see some showers trailing behind that toward Campty. That's just kind of leftover stuff. I wouldn't even think we'd have lightning with that. And no, that's that lightning's all confined in this main supercell right here, and that thing, it just looks... It's not losing a step. I mean, it's really just continuing, and The hail signature has been pretty thick with this one, especially over Campty. Now that southern flank has taken over, and that hail threat's going to be moving right down 84 and right into Winfield, Sardis, Atlanta, that area. Calvin, maybe it stays just south of you, but Winfield, it's about to get really nasty. I know it probably already is. It is. And it's loud, and it looks like now your hail threat's going to be building up. And actually, you can see above me, I forget sometimes that we have the Alexandria and the Toledo Bend camera here. I think, yeah, it's Toledo. And you can see what's going on. So we'll see if the lightning's increasing there as these storms continue to advance toward that site. Lightning aplenty. There's that cell. Looks a little less than this one. I think, you know, again, these are going to try to form. Now we're getting some lightning with this cell near DeQuincy, so these are going to form, and these are going to join up with this, and it's just going to be a messy few hours. It's going to be loud. It's going to wake you up if you're not already awake. If you're in Winfield and you're still asleep, you are a champion sleeper, because I guarantee you it is just loud and crazy up there. Okay, so this is an update to that severe thunderstorm warning. So, wait, no, this is a new one. There it is. Okay, new severe thunderstorm warning. This is for south central DeSoto, west central Natchitoches Parish, Sabine County in Texas, northeastern San Augustine County, and southeastern Shelby County in Texas at 1:51 a.m. Severe thunderstorms were located along a line from near Converse, that's extreme northwestern Sabine Parish, to 6 miles northwest of McCune. I don't know how to say that one. Could be totally wrong. Never seen it. Never heard of it. Or along a line from 14 south of Mansfield to 22 miles south of Center, Texas, and moving southeast at 35. 60-mile-per-hour wind and quarter-sized hail is likely with this one. Locations impacted. These are going to include some in Texas and some in Louisiana. We'll just read them all. That would be Milam, Manny, San Augustine, Zwally, Hemphill, Pineland, Converse, Patroon, Rosevine, Bland Lake, Oak Grove, Pleasant Hill, Florine, Huxley, Noble, Fisher, Robeline, Toledo Bend Reservoir North, Negrete, and Columbus. So if you're there, that's a new warning right there, and that's the cell that's going to be continuing to plow on toward the southeast and probably eventually moves over parts of Vernon and then parts of Rapides Parish. Looking at this cell real quick, because I think the threat is a little bit more significant with this one. There's that hail core over Atlanta. Next in line would be Pacton. Let me go to the comments and see if getting rough in Atlanta. Yeah, what are you getting there, Janice? Are you getting some hailing in Atlanta? Let me know how... And Lindsay, if you have any sort of size on that, would love to know that, because that is a pretty nasty core moving right over Atlanta right now. So Atlanta toward Five Forks, Pacton down the line there, more. Let's see what road that is. Main Street, right through downtown Atlanta, Louisiana. Then Schoolhouse Road, Evergreen Road, Company Road, those areas, you are about to see some hail as well if you're not seeing it right now. And this is now crossing Highway 34, so it should be calming down fairly quickly behind that. Okay, so there's severe thunderstorm warning number 1. Number 2, out here on this one that is more linear. You can see this one more single cell. This one is more linear. This goes down into Texas, and this stretches from around Mansfield back toward just south of Center, Texas, toward Nacogdoches. But yeah, there is definitely hail in Atlanta. Thank you all for the report. I didn't know I had this many people watching in Atlanta. Is there a bit of a cool down after the storms pass? Nothing crazy. Although I will say, we've got an Easter cold snap coming like next week. Could be highs in the 60s, lows down in the upper 30s again, like highs near 60. So I will get one more taste of that cool weather. Let me go ahead and look at this real quick. I want to get in close on these cells down by DeQuincy and just see how they're behaving. Make sure they're not doing anything silly and unauthorized. I don't see anything crazy there. Let's look higher up. Nope. Okay, good. So that is just, these cells are forming down here, and they're going to feed into this main line, and that's going to help really kind of accelerate this through the area, but it's also going to enhance that severe threat. It is hailing in Winfield, nickel-sized hail. Okay, so nickel-sized hail in Atlanta reported with this core that is moving right overhead. Just past overhead, this is heading toward Pacton. It is hailing in Winfield, and you can see there we have that pink. So we have, it's DBZ is what it is. So 54 DBZ. Down here toward Atlanta, 71. That's insane. That's very, very high. It's not off the charts, but it's high up on the charts. So those cores where we see the black coming in, that's when we have that hail really coming down. I'm going to take one more vertical slice of this. I'm just going to go right through that part of the storm. And that thing is top to bottom craziness right now. You could be getting some, I think nickel is best case out of that one. That is an absolute shaft of hail that goes up to 40,000 feet in the atmosphere. The top of the storm is approaching 60,000 feet, over 10 miles high. This thing is massive and producing, it looks like, a really, really solid amount of hail. This is right over the Atlanta community. There's that suspended hail core that's behind it. So when we're looking at the surface returns, we're not seeing nearly as much, but that hail's up there, and that's going to all fall out probably right over Pacton. So if you are in Pacton right now, you want to, yes, you want to seek shelter, but your main issue here is going to be the hail. So I would say just don't go outside. That's my main piece of advice here. And if you have a car that you enjoy and you want it to look the same, probably go ahead and get that under something. So Pacton, you're next in line for that. Getting hail in Winfield, it looks like. According to Danielle, she's saying that, so that would not surprise me at all. And then this area right here, that's going to be your biggest hail threat, that southern area there near Atlanta, moving toward Pacton. This is our next storm that's going to come in, and this whole line here is going to be the one that just kind of sweeps across the area, and we're going to see that combined with these new cells that are forming down across Vernon Parish, Beauregard Parish, and those are going to meet up with this, and it's going to be a big old thunderstorm party. You're hearing thunder in Gina? Yeah, you're probably seeing some of that lightning that's coming out in that anvil. There's not a ton of it, but I mean, there's a ton of lightning, but it's not advancing as far east as it was earlier when we were seeing some of these that were going like 20, 30 miles out and into the like east of the main body of the storm. So the good news is, Natchitoches, you're in the clear from that severe storm. The bad news is we're going to have to see what this one out west does. All right. Any reports you have, let us know. That way we can get those to the National Weather Service. If you give me hail reports, it always helps to have location and size if possible, but I understand it can be a little hectic. This storm, I mean, this was around 500-ish strikes of lightning, 629, in one storm in 15 minutes. That is so much lightning. So Winfield, you're in it right now, and that lightning is just going to be popping everywhere for the next little while. Like I said, Pacton, Moore, you're next for the threat for this big hail that's out of the Atlanta area. But Sardis, you're probably on the backside of this as well. Winfield, you might get another round of hail now that this thing is continuing to move on through. So, yeah, get the cars garage. There's only so much you can do. I mean, you can cover the cars, can't cover the roof. If you have damage, you know who to call. But we'll talk about that tomorrow after this is all over with. That's a nasty-looking storm, nasty-looking supercell right there. Ooh, and it pulsed up even further. So, yeah, if you're in Moore, Pacton, that area, you could see, I mean, I would not be stunned at all to see some tennis ball to baseball-sized hail out of this in the next few minutes. That would be right now, if you are Evergreen Road, if you're out around there, H. Ross Road, Company Road, Old Military Road, that is some monster hail that is going to be crossing 167 in the next 10 to 15 minutes. Let me see what the latest... that's why I hate these, because they don't always show up where they need to be. But this is showing, again, this doesn't mean this is hitting the ground, but this is showing suspended in this storm 4-inch diameter hail. And two different, we call them skits. Let me go over to Shreveport and see if we... Okay, this one... Yeah, that's showing some really intense... I mean, this hail is going to be most likely right along 167. I think we're going to see some baseballs out of this. Pacton up to the south end of Winfield. Let me know what you're seeing. This is a nasty, nasty cell. with hail suspended aloft at about 4 inches in diameter. It probably translates to baseball size hail making it to the ground. I mean, that is flat out disgusting. I'm going to take another vertical slice on this one to take a look and see what the characteristics of this are right now. I know we're doing a lot of technical stuff, but this is mainly to help me tell you kind of what I'm seeing and just how bad it actually is. We're going to go right through that beef right there, and that is just as nasty as it gets. It is a massive hail core that's moving right toward Pacton, Moore, and any of the southern parts of Winfield. That black area, I mean, when you see that, that is a very rock-solid suspended hail core that you can see it's from, these lines are 10,000 feet, so 10, 20, 30. So between about 10 and 30,000 feet, tons of ice up there, and it's falling out. You can see how that got lower there. So as you get a little closer to Atlanta, I think they upped this to a significant or considerable severe thunderstorm warning. They're going with 3-inch diameter hail in this one now, just south of Winfield or east of Atlanta. So let's go back to the main view here. 3-inch diameter hail. That is a destructive severe thunderstorm warning. This is for hail to the size of larger than baseballs. It's not quite softball. We're splitting hairs here. That is a massive, nasty-looking storm with the potential for hail larger than baseballs now. And this is going to be moving. If you are traveling on 167, you need to get covered. You need to get the heck out of there. It's not a tornado threat, not from what I'm seeing here. There's not even a tornado possible tag on this, but this is destructive hail that's going to be moving through parts of the south side of Winfield, through Pacton and Moore. You are about to be in this. I'm going to tell you where it's going, not where it is. You know where it is. Bucker Road, Huey Melton Road, 167 from Pacton to Winfield. You need to be off the road. And that's a rarity to see that in Louisiana. We've seen it before, but they are going with 3-inch diameter hail. A baseball is 2.75 inches in diameter, so we're talking larger than baseballs. Shreveport radar has it. Let's see up higher. Even the Lake Charles radar. And actually, Lake Charles shows a suspended hail core at about 13,000 feet right over Winfield. So let me know what you're seeing in Winfield. Let me know any reports you have. I would, and honestly, you can send me in Messenger. You can't put photos in a live stream thread, I guess because they just know people are weird and would put stupid things in there. But you can send me in Messenger any sort of hail reports you have there. I will have that. I'm going to actually pull Messenger up. That way, if we do have those coming in, maybe I can even upload that into the system and show some people. But this is a nasty storm right over Winfield. You are in it right now. So from Winfield to Pacton, that's where the highest hail threat is. Winfield, wouldn't be surprised if you're seeing ping pong to golf ball size hail right now either. And this is just kind of what these storms can do. These storms are full of ice, and this one has been going on for a long time, kind of cycling up and down. But when those warnings are flashing like that, that means business. We have a big-time hail threat with that. This one out here looks a little more windy to me. We're not seeing the blacks and all the crazy dark pinks and everything like that, but we do have a severe thunderstorm warning. Don't want to forget you out in Sabine Parish, extreme western Natchitoches Parish, and then down across most of Toledo Bend, you're in that one. Okay, so there is a photo that came in. That's some smaller hail from Kim. That was in Atlanta. That looks like it's probably 1/2 to 3/4 inch hail. But right now we're talking larger than baseballs. So baseball size hail possible. I think Winfield, it's probably a little smaller, but where we see this here on it's probably right on 167 now because this scan is a couple of minutes old. No hail in Winfield? You're kidding me. Wow. Hail in Winfield. The duality of life, you know, we're getting different reports there. But I would say if you're like on the northern side of Winfield, probably a lower chance. Oh yeah, you're getting it now. And then this down here, it looks like it's increasing over that. I don't know why local forecasts never tell you the truth. I do. Yeah, I see it, Kim. I got that. Atlanta, and that little smaller there than what they're getting now, a lot smaller, but it looks like probably half to 3/4 inch. That was when this was over Atlanta. And remember, we're not always sampling uh, the absolute biggest piece of hail, but look at this thing. I mean, right over Winfield right now, it looks like it's really coming up. So if anyone has any sort of reports in Winfield of the size of this, I'm sure I'll be getting pictures and videos and everything. But all along 167 from Winfield, I would say, south of the Walmart, probably closer to like where the McDonald's is and things like that. And then when you get down 167 there into Pacton, pretty much anywhere along 167, you have the potential for some very large hail out of this storm. And I think we're going to see some big reports out of this one. I have no idea about Chatsworth, Georgia. I mean, out there, I don't know. I know right now we're looking at Wind Parish, Louisiana, and it's storming like crazy up there. We have some significant hail with this storm, destructive hail, possibly 3 inches in diameter. That's what the warning is for. Thunderstorms moving through Sabine Parish and back toward Lufkin, Angelina County, Texas. We have those heavy thunderstorms there. And there we're seeing, again, these cells that are firing up down to the south, and they are acquiring some lightning. But this one right here, that is our main game in town right now. P to dime size hail in Winfield. Well, that's encouraging. I'm glad to hear that, because when I see something that is just covered in lightning and has these black cores like this, that hail should be increasing toward Joyce here. It's right over Winfield right now, right over 167 from Pacton through Moore up to Winfield. It's weird because it almost looks kind of linear now, but it's still producing some very large hail. Or at least it has the potential to. Let me go and look. That 4-inch diameter hail potential, that's a loft. So it's still going to be big. I mean, it still has the potential to be larger than golf balls, possibly baseballs. So a widespread area of wind-driven hail there from Pacton to Moore to Winfield. This has been going on now for 15 minutes or so. I'm encouraged to see P to dime size. I'll take that. I mean, over what I'm thinking is actually happening in some of these spots. And remember, if you're getting baseball size hail, your top priority is not telling the weatherman what you're seeing. Let me actually move that. And yes, I'm a meteorologist, but I call myself a weatherman because I don't care. I'm going to move that camera. Oh, moving the Toledo camera back over the bridge. And I can see that the waves are chopping out there. Okay. Just started hailing in Winfield, hail in Sabine Parish, okay. What part is Sabine? All right, so hail from Winfield down through Moore and Pacton, that is going to be your worst storm right now. And why is that flashing? If you just tuned in, because they're saying that the warning text they always put like, hail to the size of quarters or 1-inch diameter and 60-mile-per-hour winds. In this case, they have hail up to 3 inches in diameter with 60-mile-per-hour winds. So wind-driven, strong hail. They have removed parts of Jackson Parish, Wind Parish, you're in this 3-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So from Winfield down there, you can see just different little cores of activity. Earlier, when we had that more concentrated area, that was a little bit more concerning. But again, I'm going to do a vertical slice of this and see what we have there, because it'll show us if it's falling out or if it's still just waiting. This has been a really good way to see kind of what's coming next with this stuff. All right. Yeah, and there's still a lot suspended up there. So this thing just kind of sustaining itself, and still has that hail suspended up in the storm. And then in some areas it's falling out. Very easy to see that there, but you can see up here from 20-ish to 30, 40,000 feet. And look at the tops on this thing. This maxes out at 60,000 feet, and we're seeing actual returns on this above 60,000 feet. It's pressing against that ceiling of 60,000 feet. So this storm is incredibly tall, and it has plenty of hail in it, and I'm loving seeing the dime size reports in Winfield. I really think someone's going to come along and see something bigger out of this. But dime sized, lots of reports of dime sized hail there in Winfield, and there's probably a lot of it falling. And then that continues down 167 all the way into northern Grant Parish. Georgetown down the line, you might see some hail out of this one. Urania, Alla, Zion, Curry, Murray Junction, all these areas here in Wynn and northern Grant Parish have the chance to see some pretty significant hail out of this storm. Let me tell them what I'm seeing real quick here, getting the reports that I'm getting. And yeah, you can see that this once again pulsing up 167 just north of Williana. Those black cores are where we have the highest threat for damaging hail. Possibly, the warning is that for up to 3-inch diameter hail. Baseballs are 2.75 inches across, so from Colgrade through Jordan Hill, east of Pacton now, but coming through on 167 right near the Grant border. See some roads here. Amberg Road. If you're on Amberg Road, you are about to see some hail. When we get these cores, Lily and I, when we would look at it, we would call it a pink dot. Well, when we have this dot and we're at 72.5 dBz, the pink is 65. So when you're getting to that level, that's when you have some really strong chance that you're going to see some hail. When you get into the black and you're above 70, that's when you know there's hail falling. And we're seeing that. I mean, there's a line of this that's 15 to 18 miles long. That's crazy. And usually we don't see this kind of setup with these storms. We don't see that kind of linear system that's producing hail like this, but this thing's been doing this for a long time. Yeah, it does always seem like it happens at night and on weekends. It can never just be a Tuesday at 4 and you have severe storms. All right. So there's that storm. Here's this one out in Sabine Parish, and then our new elements that are forming down here to the south. And those have a little interesting shape to them, but so far I'm not seeing much in the way of rotation with that. I think that one in Sabine Parish, while it has some hail with it, it's looking like more of a wind threat. And that thing is going to probably accelerate through. And the hope would be that accelerates through, knocks the instability out, and we get out of this maybe a couple hours earlier than we were thinking, like 5 or 6 as opposed to 8, 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. But right now, storms forming, coming up from the southwest. This is a new thing we're watching now. And then this one up here, I mean, that hail moving toward Georgetown. I know we have a lot of folks watching from out in that area. So we're going to get some reports here. Let's see. Ooh, uncovered rental house. Ooh. Lots of hail in Winfield, dime size. Yeah, I reported that to National Weather Service. And again, like I said, if you're getting larger hail, if you're getting baseballs, you're freaking out and not reporting to me, and I get it. I just want to see what this old school Barron button's saying. Yeah. +3 inch hail. Yep, all the actually, let's go to the hail swath. That is massive. I mean, just the amount of real estate this thing has covered. Like I said, it's like 15 to 18 miles long. And it's actually been intensifying over the last 20, 30 minutes. So that's why we went with the destructive tag, or why the National Weather Service did, because the potential is there for baseball-size hail. Storm approaching Vernon Parish. Yeah. Yep, we're on top of it all. This is the hail tracker, hail swath. Let me see what values this is showing. I don't think, yeah, okay, this one just shows the chance for like possible or likely. Let's get that out of there. I'm not looking for debris. I'm just looking to see where the hail is. And yeah, we can certainly see that where you have those. So we talk about the correlation coefficient for debris. When you have hail, it's going to be different sizes, and you have raindrops and hail and all that. So when we see these areas where it's like yellow, it's not going to look like a tornado on radar, but that's where we're seeing the hail in that stretch right there in that band. Very bad hail in Jordan Hill. Okay, how big? Should be getting through there pretty quickly, but you are definitely in it right now. This is through Pacton. This is crossing 167 between Pacton and Williana right now. This is going to be heading down through Georgetown, Rochelle, maybe as far south as Lincecum, and then Urania, Alla, Flat Creek, Hickory Valley, Colgrade. You're in it right now. Curry, that's where that hail is going to be. Let's see. They extended the severe thunderstorm warning to Vernon. That's actually a new warning. And I think what they're doing here is, let's put it in motion. They're saying, we think these cells here are going to merge with these cells right here, and we're going to get some craziness. Severe thunderstorm warning for northwestern Rapides and Vernon Parish in central Louisiana until 3:15 a.m. at 2:14. A severe thunderstorm was located 11 miles northwest of Hornbeck, or 15 miles north of Toledo Bend Dam, moving southeast at 40. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and hail to the size of quarters possible. This will impact Leesville, Hornbeck, Anacoco, LeCamp, Fullerton, Hutton, Clifton, Flatwoods, Fort Johnson, Nulano, Pitkin, Kurthwood, Leander, Pickering, Slagle, Cravens, and Simpson. This goes until 3:15. Look at that. Again, look at how quick that thing pops up. Boom. I mean, what's that? 10 minutes from nothing to, let's see how high it is. I mean, from nothing 10 minutes ago, and I can go in there and actually first, with that shape, I want to see, okay, don't have anything showing there, but again, we're going to go to my favorite of the day, which is my vertical slice. I'm going to cut through this, and I'm mainly cutting through this to show you, yes, it's already suspending hail up there, but in 10 minutes, we went from no storm to 50,000-foot tops. Now, that's insane. I mean, that's how quick this comes about, to where it goes from nothing there to a hail-producing severe thunderstorm in just 10, 15 minutes. This one looks like it could produce some significant hail as well. We knew this was going to be a potential out of this stuff today, or this tonight, but we're seeing it happen for sure. Right now, the worst of the hail with this cell, it's about to move into Georgetown. Should be getting a new scan shortly. Let me see what, yeah, I mean, when we look at all the different radar sites, whoops. Yeah, so Curry, Zion, Pacton, you're seeing it now. Yeah, Vernon, you do have a warning, and there is stuff there. This is mainly for that line that's moving in, and all this stuff that's coming up. What they're doing, I think, is forecasting these to come together. And when that happens, when these storms all kind of collide, we're going to see some cell mergers, and we are going to see some nasty hail producers. Golf ball size hail in Jordan Hill. Yeah, that is more what I'm looking at and thinking right now. 1-inch hail, Highway 84 west of Winfield. Okay. Let me see. And if you can send me pictures of this stuff, that's awesome. You can send it through Messenger. I know it's late and all that. It's just that way I'm able to let them know at the National Weather Service. But that lines up with radar, so I'm going to tell them what you're saying. Yeah, downstream warning coming. Yeah, they're going with baseball-sized hail on that. So just take what the atmosphere is giving you on this one. I mean, when you see this stuff, when we had the warning for baseball-sized hail, and we're getting golf ball reports, I'll bet you're not walking outside to check that. I would bet there's some bigger stuff out there. So this is damaging hail, and this new warning, it's for southern Caldwell, northeastern, and that Toledo camera is lighting up. This is for southern Caldwell, northeastern Grant Parish, LaSalle Parish, eastern Wind Parish. That's northern LaSalle, northern half, I guess. At 2:18, severe thunderstorms were located along a line from 14 miles northeast of Winfield to 17 southeast of Winfield, moving east at 45 miles per hour. These are destructive storms for Georgetown, Tullis, and Urania. Baseball-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds are possible. People and animals, get the animals inside. If your dog's out back, you got to get them in. This could kill them. Shattered windows, extensive damage to roofs, siding, and vehicles. This is going to impact, and this doesn't mean you're going to see that impact everywhere, but this is the area in the warning, so you have potential to see that. Columbia, Gina, Alla, Clarks, Grayson, Midway, Urania, Tullis, Georgetown, Sykes, Standard, Rochelle, Burlington, Zenoria, Spalding, Kelly, Nebo, Joyce, Hudson, and Williana. You are under the gun with this one. So, again, new cell forming right over Montgomery. This is probably, I mean, they're probably going to have to issue a warning on that one up there for near Clucheville, Lakeview, Aloha. You could see some hail as well. But the destructive hail that we're currently seeing is going to be from Jordan Hill. It's through Winfield now, though you have another cell pop in there between Galdana and Calvin. But Zion, Curry, along 84 there between Tansy and Curry, that's where this thing's going to be heading. And there's your latest update. That is a nasty, nasty cell. Still showing at least baseball-sized hail aloft with this thing. No big surprise there. It's really, really sustained itself. And so we have that, and then we have this area right here out in Sabine and Natchitoches Parish. So Natchitoches, you might have another round of this. Yeah, it looks like you're going to get this one because this thing right here did not do anything to rob the instability. Didn't do enough, at least. So yeah, we have that severe thunderstorm. I think that one's probably severe. We'll probably get a warning for that shortly. And already getting several reports of large hail out of these cells. Let's see. Oh, they canceled that one. Okay. They canceled that old one that was for Winfield. Okay, that's no big surprise. And yes, you have a severe thunderstorm warning in Leesville. There again, I think they're timing this up to where when this outflow meets up with these storms, they know that's going to really blow up. So that warning goes until 3:15 a.m. Severe thunderstorm watch until 8. If you're in Gina, you can see maybe a little bit of a tilt down toward the south on this, a little bit of a right turn to it. So if you are in Gina, if you're in Georgetown, if you're in Somerville, if you're in Gaineyville, Lincecum, Mudville, Lincecum probably going to miss this. It's probably going to stay just to your north, but this one behind it is not going to stay just to your north. So if you're in these areas, northern half of LaSalle Parish, northeastern Grant, Georgetown, Urania, Alla, you've got some big hail coming. Urania, Tullis, down to Georgetown on 165 there. That little run on 165, that's where we have the best chance to see baseball-sized hail. And I think they just did issue that warning. Yeah, that's that other cell we were talking about. And already, again, this went from, oh my goodness, did you see that lightning on the Toledo camera? It's up above my head. This one went from nothing to ping pong ball sized hail in about 15-20 minutes. It's for Central Grant Parish, South Central Wind Parish, and Southeastern Natchitoches Parish, this warning, mainly impacting Grant and Southeastern Natchitoches. Ping pong ball sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. The severe thunderstorm was located 6 miles south of Montgomery or 17 miles southeast of Natchitoches, moving east at 40 miles per hour. Locations impacted Colfax, Montgomery, Dry Prong, Aloha, Ayat Lake, Williana, Chopin, Clucheville, and Bentley. Oh my goodness, that Toledo camera is going nuts right now with the lightning. So lightning is one thing, but these storms are producing some very large and destructive hail. Let me see. Looking to see what we have. Urania is getting hairy. Hail in Montgomery. That's with this storm right here. That's that new cell. How big was that, if possible? there's a low end tornado concern, but really severe thunderstorms are the main concern. Now it looks like over the last few scans that area on the northern flank of this storm has pulsed down a bit, but coming into, if you're in the Zion community, you're probably seeing at least golf balls, maybe baseballs at this point, and this is going to be moving right over Georgetown and Rochelle here in the next little while. The next few minutes. So this is moving at 40 miles per hour, moving quickly, and it is a destructive severe thunderstorm. Monroe, I think you're good. I think this is going to stay to your south. But if there's anything up there, Jared Floyd's covering it. He's awesome. You can watch him, and he will let you know. That dude is the man. All right, Georgetown, you're about to get pounded by large hail. Let me minimize some windows. Yeah, they got that. Let me see. Leesville camera is out. Yeah, I have them checking it, but it's out right now. These cameras, they're awesome, but there's definitely, they can be a little temperamental. So is the Rapides Hospital one's out. I'm thinking this week we fix them both, but I guarantee nothing. This is the cell moving right over Georgetown right now. You're probably hearing that hail right now. And then this one looks a little more linear. That becomes more of a wind threat. And we've got these storms that are anything. I mean, given the atmosphere in place, anything that tries to form is succeeding. And we're seeing like this storm down here, that thing, again, went from nothing to something in about 15 minutes, and it's something pretty strong. Let's just check the lightning on it. I mean, it went from nothing to lightning in a few minutes, and then we've got other cells forming down here. Now, if we were to see something with some semblance of a tornado threat, it would most likely be out of one of these isolated cells, but we have not seen that with these cells so far. In fact, I haven't really seen much of a indication of any of these even, sometimes we'll say it looks like it's trying or whatever. I don't see any coherent rotation with any of these. That's a pretty good convergence signature there. We got some good gusty winds out of that one, but I'm not seeing any of these cells with strong rotation at this point. This has been a hail fest is what we're seeing right now. Jordan Hill, hail has stopped. Yeah, should be through you right now. We'll see if this one clips you as it continues on to the east, but I think the worst of that one is through. But Georgetown, Rochelle, you're about to get hammered with some hail. Thank you, Sandy. I appreciate it. But yeah, these storms, not something we see a ton of here with, we had a new warning come out too. They're just overlapping at this point. You can see it's just all kind of doing that kind of stuff. So let's go with this one. This is for, again, more of a wind threat. This is the one that's going to be moving into Natchitoches shortly. This is for, this actually has 70 mile per hour wind potential. This is for southwestern Wind Parish, south central DeSoto, Natchitoches Parish, and central Sabine Parish, and southeastern Sabine County in East Texas. At 2:26, severe thunderstorms located along a line from 14 miles southwest of Coshada to 16 miles south of Manny, or along a line from about 19 miles southeast of Mansfield to 39 miles southwest of Natchitoches. Moving east at 40, 70 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. So remember, wind-driven hail, that can blow in and that can hit the windows, that can blow out the glass. So be very careful not to just kind of stand by the windows, because if that wind blows it the wrong way, you got a whole new set of problems. Locations impacted here: Natchitoches, Manny, Allen, Pleasant Hill, Florine, Provençal, Natchez, Clarence, Fisher, Robeline, Powhatan, Mount Carmel, Marthaville, Hazelwood, Kisatchie, Bellwood, Flora, Belmont, Negrete, and Cypress. So that is this warning right here. This warning over Vernon Parish continues until 3:15. This one goes until 3:15. This goes until 3. Hale and Tullis, let's go ahead and zoom in. That's until 3:15. Tullis, you're right there. It should get larger in the next 5-10 minutes. And you can see that, while the storm is moving fairly quickly, that hail core is kind of lagging and not moving nearly as, it seems like it's moving a little bit slower almost. I'm just looking at different levels of the radar. That is a nasty storm. So big time hail threats with these storms. Small hail in Georgetown, it's going to get bigger. Forest Hill and Glenmora, it's coming later. All right, if you're getting hail, let me know how big, if it's safe. You can send me a picture on Messenger. Let's see. Got videos coming in. And if you send me stuff, just tell me where you're at. That's Winfield. Thank you, Mandy. And that does not look that big. At least on that one that I saw. Yeah, lots of lightning, lots of hail out of that one. Right now, moving into Tansy, Rochelle, Georgetown. Maybe the worst of it stays just north of you, Georgetown. But the hail threat is most certainly going to be there with this as this system continues to slide on through from west to east. Moving at 40 miles per hour, there's another supercell that's forming over Grant Parish, and there is more of a linear kind of bow echo there. This thing that goes until 3:15, yes, it has a hail threat, and this also is going to have a very strong wind threat. Yeah, if you can, and Michael just posted that, if you can give me the reference of any sort of, if you can tell me it's, you know, golf ball sized, penny sized, pea sized, baseball, whatever it is, definitely helps things out. And if you can tell me where, I'm not even worried about time right now, because usually I'd want that too. But just tell me where and how big, because there's a lot of storms that are producing hail across the area right now. Let's go back an hour, put things in motion, and show you how these things have evolved. Let's take warnings off to get the noise out of here a little bit. But you can see all those black cores that have been forming in that cell. That's where we've seen the hail, and you can see it kind of shifts around. This one, more wind-driven, smaller hail that's moving into western Natchitoches Parish, and then these cells that are moving up from the southwest, like this one right here, starting to really perk up there in northwestern Beauregard Parish, moving up toward base there and toward Leesville. So, golf ball size, my goodness. Hail in the Dartigo community. Man, there's a lot of hail out of this. And all these cells that are forming now. So it's just going to be a busy few hours. We're just going to stay with it here because hail this size is destructive and causes major, major problems. Let me go ahead. Let's go to cameras. It's dark, so we're not going to see a ton. But the Toledo camera, that's been showing out with some lightning there. You can see the winds are blowing there. The waves are big, but that's mostly through there. Let's go ahead and look at the Natchitoches camera. That was a nice lightning strike. Oh, my goodness. All right, we can watch that all night. Gina, it's going to be like this everywhere. Tons of lightning. There's the Natchitoches one. Again, that earlier cell that came through and was severe, 66 degrees. Yeah, makes more sense. Winds from the east-northeast at 3. But 66, dew point 65. So the atmosphere, yes, it did take a hit there because we were around 75 with a dew point of 70. But that's still enough fuel to keep these storms going. Now, this next thing that runs through, that's going to probably take that out of there. But this is what it looks like on the skyline of Natchitoches right now, looking west or northwest towards Sibley Lake. You can see when it lights up there, that's the lake right there. Looking from Turpin Stadium, just tons and tons of lightning out there and a severe storm that's going to be coming through. Let's look at the latest real quick on the HRRR model. This is the high res. We're going to go through this and show you the progress of what these storms are most likely going to do. And it looks like they are going to move on through here by about 6 in the morning. And you can see just a few lingering showers and maybe a few rumbles of thunder at that point. And then that heavier stuff, that heavier action moves on to the east. And then just quickly, it's out of here. All right, let's go back to radar. See what we have going there. We've got the warnings and watches going. The worst of this one now, the worst of this cell is near Urania, Chickasaw, south of Alla. You might be getting some small hail up that way, but Tansy, Rochelle, just north of Georgetown, I think, and then this other cell right along Iat Lake there, that could be producing some hail as well. Lots of lightning, golf ball-sized hail. Yep, April showers bring May flowers, but unfortunately, I think it's still March, so I don't know what these are going to do. Severe thunderstorm warnings continue across the area for parts of Sabine, Natchitoches, Wynne, Grant, LaSalle, Vernon, and even clipping Western Rapides Parish there. Pull up the lightning for you real quick. Let's get the count on that. We are at 2,400 strikes of lightning in the last 15 minutes, 2,481 out of just these storms right here. Hail and Tullis, yep, that is not a surprise. Whoops. All right, let me get the lightning off there. Tullis is getting hail, so right there, where 165 hits 84, you're getting some hail. Urania, probably seeing that as well, and then down the line toward Chickasaw, that is going to happen. You're going to get some hail as well. Somerville, north side of Gina, looks to be getting the worst of this one, and then northern Grant Parish, there's that severe thunderstorm that's eventually going to impact Gina. I think this first cell stays to your north, but then that one's going to come on through. But these storms, they have been all about the hail, not so much about any tornado threat. Not seeing anything showing any signs of rotation. Now, when we get this little line to form, it's possible we could see some sort of brief spin-ups on the front end of that, so we'll be watching that. Let me look at this. No, that's not bad. But yeah, these are going to be loud. If you have not experienced these storms yet, they are going to have lots of lightning. So over the last hour, you can see that the big change here has been we have had these storms to the north. These down here, these are the new game in town, and these are going to continue to increase and intensify, merge up with this, and it's just going to be a big thunderstorm fiasco over the top. So let's see. Going back to take a look at the NWS chat. Golf ball size hail reported in east of Winfield in the Colgrade community. That's from KTVE. All right, go back up into this storm. Maybe they'll be able to stop blinking this thing. Maybe we're getting a little bit of a tick downward on that. Still definitely seeing some hail out of that thing, though. And again, we're just looking at different radars here and seeing different levels of the storm. That's Lake Charles. We go back to home base here. So severe thunderstorm warnings continue. That one in Vernon Parish right now, not too much going on in there. Just these cells that are forming and then that outflow that's going to meet up with those and kind of help those to really ramp up. I have not heard thunder yet in Alexandria. I know some of you are like, what? Seriously? But down here into Allen Parish, Beauregard Parish, these thunderstorms are increasing, and these are moving more toward the northeast. So these up to the north, let's take the lightning off. These are moving west to east up to the north. This down here, this is moving in from the southwest, and this is going to kind of converge with those cells as they continue on. Hailing in Montgomery. Ooh. Getting loud in Clark's. Yeah, I hope your babies don't wake up too. It's always best for them to just sleep through it and not have to deal with that. Don't want them to get scared. It's one thing, and I mention this occasionally, but I had terrible storm anxiety as a kid. I had a basement. I had two fears, tornadoes and basements. Those don't mix. So I would go down and just hide under my pillow because I didn't know what I was going to see in the basement, and then I would just sit there and hunker down under all that stuff. So I get it. I really, until I was about 12, then the switch flipped, and I was like, all right, I want to chase these things now. Complex. The complex that prompted the warning took a hard turn to the east and is likely going to just brush the north portions of Vernon Rapides Parish. The warning will continue. So that one, that's this cell right here. So it was dropping. It looked like it was going to really drop down. It's going to kind of stay in that northern part of the warning. But again, other cells that are coming up here, they're going to keep that going for sure. Do I think it's going to be nastier than everyone is saying it will be for southeast Louisiana? I think it's going to be pretty, I don't know what they're saying. I think it's going to be pretty nasty, though. So, yeah, if they're not saying it's going to be nasty, I think it's going to stay together, and we're going to have a decent risk of this continuing downstream into southeast Louisiana. So right now it's getting loud in Allen Parish. We have our big warning up here. I'm not as focused on that because it looks like the hail is probably a little bit lower than what we saw earlier, but still possibly some golf ball sized hail out of this storm. Moving in across 165 and down 84, this could impact Somerville. It is hitting Urania and Ala right now. And then this cell over Ayat Lake, that one's producing some heavy rainfall, probably some hail up to about 1 inch in diameter. Ala, after this one, you might be done. Let's see. It's going to be close. I can't say that for sure. I would just say any threat is not going to be tornadic. The way I'm seeing it right now, at least. Hate giving guarantees with weather, but you know, sometimes let's see. Yeah, they're dropping the baseball-sized hail on that storm down to tennis ball-sized hail, so that should make you feel better. So here's our warning, the latest warning at 2:39. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 3:15 a.m. for southern Caldwell, northeastern Grant, LaSalle, and east central Wynn Parish. Severe thunderstorms located along a line from near Clarks to 9 miles west of Midway, or along a line from 9 miles southwest of Columbia to 25 miles southeast of Winfield. These are moving east at 45, tennis ball-sized hail, and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And these storms are going to impact, at least these are the potential impact areas: Columbia, Gina, Ala, Clarks, Grayson, Midway, Urania, Tullis, you're already in it, Georgetown, Standard, Burlington, Spalding, Kelly, Zenoria, Rochelle, and Nebo. Let's take the big look again, and lots of storms filling in from the southwest to the northeast. There comes the heavy stuff in from the northwest. This is clearing Toledo Bend. We still have some storms trailing out into Texas, but I think everything's about to just advance on through, and this is going to accelerate on through in the next few hours. Is Gina going to get hail? North side, yes. I can't tell you for sure if you're going to get that into Gina. It's just, it looks like this part's going to stay to your north, but this one out here, this storm to your west, that would be the one that would produce hail for Gina. New warning, though. Let's see, that's going to be in Jackson's forecast office. Let me go there. So Jackson is going with a warning downstream on that storm. This is for western Tensas, north central Concordia, northern Catahoula, southwestern Richland Parish, and Franklin Parish in northeast Louisiana. At 2:40 a.m., a severe thunderstorm was located near Ala, or 12 miles southwest of Columbia, moving east at 45. Ping pong ball-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. This will be near Rosefield, Enterprise, Jigger, Wisner, Gilbert, Cooter Point. That's the areas this one will impact. I'm trying to move my mouse on this computer for this one, and that doesn't carry over. All right. Hold on, let me do one thing. Lots of warnings going on, though. Let me zoom out while I'm doing this so you can see all that. It's raining here at the house. I'm just checking my messenger to see if I have any new videos coming in, new pictures, something like that. Oops. Videos on Messenger are so weird. Let's see, Georgetown, okay. All right. And I'm getting a pronouncer. Is it Lincecum? She said, think real Southern. I'm trying to, I don't know. I'll just try not to say it. I got to learn. Before I am done on this earth, I'm going to know every single hamlet in this area. New severe thunderstorm warning. Of course, I look away for 5 seconds. And we have a new severe thunderstorm warning for Beauregard and Vernon Parish. Let's get the latest on that one. I'm hearing thunder. Just a distant rumble right now. Okay, so this is a severe thunderstorm warning for northeastern Beauregard Parish, south central Vernon Parish, and west central Louisiana until 3 a.m. That's a quick one. That's a short fuse there. 2:40 a.m., a severe thunderstorm was located near DeRidder, moving northeast at 45. Hazard is 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and nickel-sized hail. So that is driven by the wind over the hail on that one. Let's see. Yeah, you don't have to go outside and take a look at the hail. Hail in Fairfield. Hail in Ala now. Pea size. All right. got it. I got it. No, I can unhide that. Yeah, you're gonna be tired at work. I told my wife, I'm like, first half of the day's out. Yes, I have another job. I work with her, but I'm out. I gotta sleep at some point. That's why you saw Tom earlier. If any of you saw that, I was like, Tom, I'm gonna take a nap, like a hour nap, and I did. And then I was sitting there looking at stuff, and I'm like, maybe I can go another half hour. No, I knew better. I was like, these storms they're going crazy. So, hailing in Coteal. That's a new one. These are popping so quick I can barely keep up with them. That's that cell right there, Wilda, Gardner, that area. Lightning will be. It's not even really popping yet. That storm hasn't even figured out that it should be producing lightning yet. It'll come soon. There's that severe thunderstorm over Rose Pine and DeRitter. Here comes the that linear mess right there, and look at that. That looks like another pretty stout area of hail between Baghdad and Oak Grove, just southwest of Dry Prong. This is going to be moving to the east at about 40-45 miles per hour. So if you are in Bentley, Al Quartermont, if you're watching me, you're going to be a little weather watcher for me. If you're in Bentley, let me know what's going on. Let's see. Like Pence, Lenscombe. I'm going to have to... somebody send me a video or something. Because I always thought it was Afman. It's Afman. So, learned that one. New severe thunderstorm warning coming in now for parts of Rapides, Allen, and Evangeline. Let me a hailing in Coteal. My goodness, this is the night of the hailstorm. Whoa. Pacton. Somebody sent a picture of golf balls up there. But let me just do that real quick. I like them to have the latest information on this stuff so they can issue the warnings properly. But we have, let's see how many warnings we have going. We have a new one. I'll let you know about this. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 severe thunderstorm warnings going on right now. These storms are developing and intensifying very quickly. This is your latest warning right here that goes until 3:15. These are moving more east up to the north and more east-northeast for these cells that are just popping up right now. So let's get the latest on this warning. Another warning up here. Oh, it's hard to keep up with. All right, we'll go with this one because I know this one was just issued. So this is for the South Central Rapides Parish, Northwestern Evangeline, and Northeastern Allen in Southwest Louisiana. At 2:44 a.m., severe thunderstorms were located near Elizabeth, moving northeast at 40. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, quarter-sized hail. This is going to impact Glenmora, Forest Hill, Turkey Creek, Elizabeth, Beaver, Oakdale, and McNary. Everybody's going to be waking up soon. Let me go over and take a look at cameras for a second. DeRitter is back live, but it's down on the ground. It's probably a good thing. Lightning just going nuts with those. Oh, let me go ahead and take all this junk out of here. Whoa, that's not junk. All right. And that will clean that up. But yeah, that's your Beauregard Parish, Northeast Beauregard Parish, kind of between Dry Creek and DeRitter. That's what that looks like. Here is Gina right now. Tons of lightning up there. That's pretty much all we're going to see, so we're not going to spend too much time on this. Natchitoches, yep, you guessed it. It's storming again. Lightning, 66 degrees, dew point 65, so that means they've kept that moisture in place here. Let me see if we had any wind gusts. Yeah, they popped up to about 30 again on that one, so a little more wind out of that storm. The Leesville camera is down right now. This is Toledo. There's the lake and Alexandria. 74 with a dew point of 72. That is lots of juice available for these storms. So I'm going to move this camera. Actually, I want it to be a little more toward the west. And the lightning's just now starting to pop. And I don't know why that does that, but you didn't even see it, so you're fine. Okay, let's go back to radar. I'll let that view kind of update, but thunderstorms popping all over the place. We have severe thunderstorm warnings for everyone. Not everyone, but you get it. Lots of severe thunderstorms out there, and these storms continue to move toward the east and northeast. Got an MPing report of dime-sized hail in Tullis when that storm came through. And yeah, it's all kind of filling in right now, and it's going to be a loud next few hours for a good part of central Louisiana. So I'll put things in motion. I'll take off the warnings and watches for just a second here. That way we can kind of see more clearly what's going on. But everything that's coming in from the north kind of pushing due east. These are moving more east-northeast, but you can see them even kind of starting to turn a little bit more to the east. This is going to all kind of team up over Vernon Parish, and we're going to see these storms roll right through Alexandria and all of the area. You're all going to see the showers and storms and possibly some severe weather out of this. So let's take a look at hail track here on the hail swath. Worst of this has clearly been up there in southern Wynn and northern Grant Parish. I'll put it in motion so we can see kind of where things are going now. And actually what I'll do is I can just do it like this. It doesn't look as impressive when you do it like that. You can see that storm up in northern LaSalle has pulsed down a bit, but that one in southern Grant, that's the one that's heading for Bentley. Let's go in on that one and take a look a little bit closer. Al, get that car in the garage. Dry Prong and Bentley. Hail is moving in. Let me see if I have any. I haven't looked at comments for a little bit. Yeah, weather radio is going crazy with warnings. It's all over. Hornbeck getting hail? Yeah. I think everything's producing hail right now. Yep, we have several storms with the potential to produce hail. I mean, these could be producing small hail. Lots of lightning with those. That one's going to come right up over Alexandria, I would think. This one right here. Oh, actually, look, it kind of hooked right. Yeah, as they mature, they're hooking more toward the right. Another area of potentially large hail. This is going to be between Elizabeth and Oakdale. There's 165, the Royal Martin facility up there around Pawnee. You could see some pretty significant hail here in the next 10-15 minutes. So there's that warning. There's this one over southern Vernon into northern Beauregard Parish, but I think the worst storm right now might be this one in Grant Parish. This up here into northern LaSalle, it looks like it's flashing there, and we had that threat for baseball-sized hail, but that has kind of ticked down here over the last little while. This area right here, when we see that black on the radar, right over between Dry Prong and Bentley, let me text Al because I know he's going to wake up. But yeah, that's 167 right there. This is headed toward 165. So Dry Prong and Bentley right now. Pollock, Camp Hartner, Antonia. Down the line for you. Elizabeth, how severe right now? Looks like you're on the backside of that cell, and then this one is going to produce some more possibly small hail and heavy rainfall. A lot of lightning too. So let's show you that. Lightning. But another part of the story. Over 2,400 strikes of lightning in the last 15 minutes in this map view. And I have another radar source here that I'm just looking at. I like radar scope. It's good stuff. That's a pretty interesting little cell down there near Woodworth. Let me go ahead. Ooh, good lightning up there and on the Toledo cam. See, usually that shape would freak me out, but there's nothing showing rotation in there. Given the weak wind shear at the surface, it totally makes sense. I'm just checking it all. You don't want to be asleep at the wheel on this stuff. I have no idea why they just issued that special weather statement. That's very weird. I'm curious because there's nothing going on there. New Orleans. No idea. All right, so to briefly recap, we have severe thunderstorm warnings all over the area. Somehow here in Alexandria so far we have escaped this. You can see above my head all the crazy lightning going on, and then let me check I just want to check one camera. It looks like that view is still the old one here on the Alexandria camera, and I moved it. Wait a second. Is that hail on the ground there? Let me check something. Oh, the cows are out there. Poor cows. That's the Beauregard Parish camera. I was thinking I was seeing hail. I think that was just like the weeds. Let me go back to Alexandria. I have no idea why that camera's locked up above me. That's not a current picture, but we're not going to worry about that. But that's looking west from Alexandria right now. I will look at that if we have something come overhead. But we're going to go back to radar here with severe thunderstorm warnings all over the place right now. Oakdale, north side of Oakdale, Pawnee, that's where we have the biggest threat for hail there. Should not be too huge. This cell here looks like it is a little weaker. The one that was earlier producing at least golf ball. I have like a 2-inch diameter hail that was sent to me in Messenger, so I can confirm that we had that. Let's see. It's another video of hail. I don't see where that one is. All right. But my goodness, that Toledo Bend camera, it's still just producing, well, it's not producing the lightning, but it's seeing it. No warning for Alexandria right now. Wouldn't be surprised if these storms are producing some small hail. The loudest of the loud right now would be over Grant Parish, where I think we're probably seeing at least quarter-size hail from Bentley and Dry Prong over toward Pollock and Antonia. Hail in Colfax. Hail in Pickering, starting to chill out in Hornbeck. That's good. Hail in Colfax. Let's see. That it looks like, let me see what's going on there. Okay, that must have just happened a little while ago, that cell as it was coming through. And then these are probably going to fill in, and you might see it again. Storms firing over Rapides Parish, but right now no warnings with those. That destructive severe thunderstorm warning, I think that's going to go away. I don't see that continuing on. But yeah, I mean, we're just watching and monitoring all this stuff. Thank you for all your reports. Thanks for sticking with me here. It is a loud night. It is a hail-filled night for many of you. I know that. Let me see. Al is awake, he replied. Yeah, he can hear it on the roof. All right, so yes, that's confirmed hail in Bentley as well. Glenmora, you are under this severe thunderstorm warning. Looks like the worst of that is going to stay just to your south. You can see that warning was issued for that cell just north of Oakdale, between Oakdale and Glenmora, but there could be more behind that. So if you're in Allen Parish, very loud right now, but no warnings apart from that northern flank of the storm. I wouldn't be surprised to see a warning issued on the rest of this. Quarter-size hail in Bentley? I think so. Yeah, DeRitter, that one kind of popped up overhead, and that's gone now, but some other stuff filling into the back, or to the west. And then let me look at velocity, because I see a little hookage there. Around Mink? I'm not saying we got anything there, but I'm watching that. I'm watching you. See the little nub there? So that's that more linear cell that we had I think that could that could produce some more hail out there toward Colfax and Boyce down the line, and you can see this kind of just stretching out into East Texas. Let's put it in motion over the last hour. We are ready to get this thing out of here. You can see earlier, if you weren't with us, we had a lot of really crazy active cores. Now this is moving further from the radar, so we're probably not seeing it. We're not seeing it represented as well as we were earlier, but this is still producing a severe thunderstorm warning, probably producing at least some quarter-sized hail, but not the baseballs that it could have been producing earlier. Hail across Grant Parish right now. That one, that cell is moving into western LaSalle Parish there. That's going to go right over Gina. But right now, at least, as I look at this, I'm not seeing any cell that I think is producing very large hail. Now, we could be seeing some quarter-sized hail, maybe a little bigger than that. But I'm not seeing those blacks showing up on radar like we had over Georgetown earlier. Right now, Georgetown probably seeing some hail again, though, as this cell moves over, possibly some quarter-size hail once again. Thunder's getting louder. Yeah, you're right. You're right into it now. Pea-size hail in Bentley, lots of lightning. Should you expect more? Yeah, you're going to get this cell back here. That's going to come through. That one's going to roll right on through Grant Parish. Looked like it was going to kind of dive down into Vernon, and still that outflow could kick things off and could merge with these cells down here. But for now, just looking at what we have ahead of us here, we have severe thunderstorm warnings that are continuing across northern Catahoula, all of LaSalle, parts of Grant Parish, parts of Natchitoches, Vernon, Sabine. Sabine's almost out of it. You're getting closer to being in the clear. And then here in Rapides Parish, we have that western warning that's just clipping the extreme western part of the parish, and then across southern parts of the parish as well. Yeah. Woodworth, you're definitely under that cell right there. Wouldn't be surprised to see some small hail out of that one. Let me see the latest scan on that one I was looking at where I saw that little misbehavior. See, that's the thing. You could see quick spin up tornadoes on these lines, but the setup certainly, as we're seeing, favors hail and isolated damaging wind over the threat for tornadoes. But Grant Parish right now in the worst of this. Cells forming right over most of Rapides right now, right through the center of the parish. Let me put it in motion over the last hour, and you can see how these storms, they go from nothing to severe just like that. I mean, it's just very, very quick. We're just watching videos as they come in. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't even count the warnings because they're overlapping. Looks like 6 or 7 going on right now. Special weather statement. We're not even going to fool with that. That's for that stuff in Allen. It's going to be really loud. Possibly some small hail out of that one, too. I can just hear the distant thunder rolling right here, right now. Still going with 2-inch hail on that LaSalle Caldwell Parish storm. All the other severe thunderstorm warnings are more like 1-inch diameter hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind potential. That's not good, but that's not nearly as bad as what we have been seeing. And my hope is, as we get all these storms to form, they're starting to compete for the instability. They're kind of wrecking the atmosphere. And the hope would be that that is going to crush further development. Or, let's see. I honestly forgot what I was saying. But let's just go back to the warnings and see what we're looking at right now. These storms continue to move from west to east at about 40 miles per hour, and we're getting that new development there across Rapides Parish. So down the line, Avoyelles, you're going to get hit by these. Rapides, you know, as I look at this, being in Alexandria, as this kind of skates through the area, I'm wondering, you know, if this doesn't team up with this cell right here, we might kind of slip through the worst of this right here in town. It's not a definite, but that is a hopeful outlook I can give you. But the thunder is certainly popping now. Heavier rain coming in Woodworth. Yeah, that cell is right overhead right now. Um, Let me go ahead and take a look at power outages, see if we have much. I wouldn't expect a ton, apart from like lightning and things like that causing them. Wind Parish has 570 out of power. Red River 975, but in Louisiana, 2,300 customers without power. That shows you that we're not seeing a lot of wind out of this. So again, a little bit of good news for you there. But the bad news is we have several more, or a few more hours. Let's be optimistic. I think this gets out of here by 5 or 6. Sabine Parish, you're getting close to the end. I just wish these storms weren't here, just trailing behind. Those are kind of annoying me. Let me look, see something. You just hear that boo. It's like, I don't know, it's like thunder sounds different out of storms like this. It's going to be some window rattlers. Yeah, and this is, I'm just looking at the latest HRRR model, that high res model, and basically things are just going to kind of get messy, and we're going to see tons of different storms forming and competing. But it looks like another burst of hail rolling right for you there in Bob. If you're in the Bob community, Magnolia, Sims, you might have seen some hail out of this. This was just north of Ball, but you're also kind of getting into that right now with a decent storm moving over Ball. But Bob community, Rogers, maybe Nebo, that is where we are going to see the next threat for hail coming out of this storm as it continues on to the east. Storms filling in here in Rapides Parish, but the only warning right now is mainly this one here down around Glenmora. And really, that one, to me, I think the worst of that cell is going to be right along 165, probably moving into northern Evangeline. Actually, the more impressive part of the cell is not under the warning up there in Woodworth. So I don't think that doesn't mean I think it's severe, but I think you could be seeing some P to maybe half-inch size hail, dime size hail, something like that. And yeah, we just have a very active night here. This is, as opposed to last Sunday when we had, we had some activity in the area, but it wasn't one of those things where it was just like continuous like this. So if I'm going to be up for it, I at least want to be doing something and talking about something. And honestly, there's probably too much to talk about tonight, but I've got everything set up here, and we are in it for the long haul. And man, is sleep going to be awesome when that happens. Some of you get to go to, I mean, if you're in Sabine Parish, go to bed. You're good. I mean, yeah, you can stay and watch all night if you want, but I would say you are safe to go to sleep. In fact, I mean, Vernon Parish, so first off, it's a severe thunderstorm watch. Yes, we've had these destructive severe thunderstorm warnings, and that is a big deal. That's a rarity. But the tornado threat has remained very low with this. We have not seen any tornado warnings yet. I am watching that area there in southern Natchitoches Parish. Let me go and take a peek again. Just a little bit of misbehaving going on, but I don't think that is going to be anything, but we're watching it. Bob, you're getting hail, not the person, the community. Bob, that's where it looks like we probably have some hail that could be approaching golf ball size again. Had a report of 1-inch diameter hail 5 south-southeast of Dry Prong. Starting to rain in Forest Hill. Oh yeah, it's loud down that way. Anything in Gina? Yeah, you've got you've got that destructive severe thunderstorm warning, but I think that's going away shortly. The worst of that cell looks like it's going to be just south. Let's look at the camera though. I guarantee we're getting a light show for days. Yeah. This is the Gina camera. We're about 200 feet up on that radio tower. So hopefully they have good lightning arresters on that thing because there's going to be a lot of lightning. The Toledo Bend camera has been just, it's there. You're out of the worst of it, but up in this area toward the northwest, there have been some ridiculously cool lightning strikes. Let's go to, just taking the tour. Power is off and on in Pitkin. This is the cow cam out there in DeRitter. You can see those poor cows. Let's take a look at LeBeau, see what Stellies is looking like. Looks like the train might be coming through. Natchitoches, you should be through the worst of this now. I've got to actually, let me zoom this out because that's going to bug me. It's kind of out of focus. We're going to refocus. Oh, I'm going to leave it there because you're about to see, I think it's delayed a bit. You're about to see a really cool lightning strike. Presets. Let's just watch this, see if we get that lightning strike there. There it was. All right, so I have that camera now focused, and I can go take a look here in Alexandria. Raining and humid. We are very humid. 72-degree dew point. So these storms have a massive amount of low-level moisture. That helps with the instability, and we have plenty of that to go around. That's why we're seeing all this hail. We have a lot of available energy in the atmosphere. So severe thunderstorm warnings continue for parts of Rapides, Evangeline, Allen, Vernon, Natchitoches, Wynne, Grant, LaSalle, Catahoula, and Concordia Parish. So if you are listening to me and you're not down there if you're not watching me from Stellies and LeBeau, you're probably seeing lightning and probably under some sort of warning. It seems like all but Avoyelles and St. Landry are really getting hammered right now. Let's go ahead and put things in motion, take a big picture look at things with all the warnings going on. This new batch of storms, what I'm hoping is this is going to accelerate to the east, and then these will start to weaken. That would get things out of here quicker. That would get us all in bed quicker. And no one would complain. But there are going to be some tired kids at school. Wait, do I think Vernon can go to sleep? Yeah. I mean, I don't see a tornado threat. So, yeah, I mean, you have the severe thunderstorm warning going for a little while longer, but I would say you're fine. I mean, I think there's still a low-end severe threat, but I don't think it's tornadoes. So, yeah, go to sleep. Oops, that was we had that hail core really pulse up over the Bob community. That's continuing on to the east into southern LaSalle Parish, where we have a lot of lightning and craziness going on. But around Antonia, it looks like we had another hail core pop up. That'll head toward Rogers and White Sulphur Springs, toward Nebo down the road, if it holds together. I don't think this is going to be like earlier when we saw that thing hold together for like an hour and a half. Hold on. Sister-in-law's texting now. She's in Woodworth, so. She's worried about Mama and Daddy's vehicle. I think you're fine. Several nasty-looking storms over the area. We have severe thunderstorm warnings. Let me see what the most recent... Oh, they canceled the one for Red River Parish. I'm glad to see some cancellations coming in. The Vernon warning, this one, Vernon Parish, you get it. I'm tired. That's going away in 3 minutes, so that's going to be allowed to expire. That's a little bit of good news. So then that would mean that our furthest west warning would be this one, which probably gets clipped off pretty soon. And if we can get this stuff to go away, then things are looking better. Yeah, no big tornado threat. It's non-zero, but it's if we see one, it would be, the way I'm seeing it now, it would be weak. And it would be brief. It would be along one of these kind of leading edges of these cells as they become more linear. We're going to get this line that's going to move into Avoyelles. And again, what I'm hoping is as this line forms ahead of these storms, I'm hoping that takes away some of that energy in the atmosphere. We're kind of seeing what a worked over atmosphere is doing to these cells. Let's see what kind of lightning we have. I'll bet lightning has come down a little bit. Oh, no, it's still going. No, it's up. Sorry, Nick, you're wrong. 2,800 strikes in the last 15 minutes. There's going to be some good lightning video and pictures coming out of this stuff. Don't even think about it. Cat's snooping around. Stop it. All right. Oops. I clicked the wrong thing. I'm getting delirious. All right. Lightning, you're going away. That was that little blip there. I was like, why is there a special weather statement? You can see they were like, oops, we screwed up. So it looks like maybe some hail with this storm possibly now as it crosses Lamourie, LeCount. Actually, that is going to be right over my in-laws. I wonder if they're going to be texting soon. Bill and Jan, thank you, Sonia. Oh, wait, never mind. I'm looking at something old that it looked like the camera blew out there in in Toledo Bend, but it looks like it's fine now. That lightning really beefed up there. Yeah, Woodworth, LeCount, it's getting after it for sure. I think we might see another warning coming out for that one. Vernon warning, that's going away in 1 minute. That'll clean things up a bit. And again, here in Alexandria, we hear the rumbles in the distance, but I mean, you can see it's only 434 people watching, so Alexandria has not woken up. This is all my friends in the outlying areas. Love you guys. Glad we're all hanging out tonight. You're keeping me awake. It's extremely loud in LeCount. I'll bet it is, because that storm right there is pumping out some lightning. Lots of lightning, and she's got the zoomies. I'm talking about the cat. All right, so this storm here looks like it could be producing some hail. This would be LeCount right here, Lamourie right here. That's where my in-laws live, Weingart. And we have up toward Chambers, Southside Alexandria, maybe some small hail there. Not seeing it. I'm not going to bed. I'm staying up. I stay up until it's all cleared out. Doesn't matter how silly I get. So severe thunderstorm warnings continuing, but what I like here is we're not seeing the destructive tag on one. That's always a bonus. We have this one going until 3:45, that one until 3:30, that until 3:45, and that one's just kind of clipping our northern area. These storms are interesting here in Rapides Parish, and I think probably producing at least some small hail, but not... it's not something right now that looks over the top. So it's not something that's necessitating a warning, but it is certainly loud and wild and crazy over parts of the area. And we are, look at this. I mean, look at this hole right over Alexandria. I mean, at least give me something here, because I don't want the damage. I don't want the big hail, but I need to hear it getting loud and crazy at my house too. There's a new cell popping over southeastern Vernon. You can see that one's taken off pretty quickly. And what I'm seeing on radar, which our radar's good, I like it. You know what I'm going to do, actually? I'm going to mess with this a little bit so we can maybe see that outflow a little bit better. So yeah, you can see the outflow off of these cells here. This is going to come in here. As that clears, that's when things are going to start to improve a little bit. So things behind that probably not going to be quite as severe. So that is that's kind of how things are working with that. Just me and the cat, folks. Everybody else is asleep. Well, it's only Kristen here at the house now. The kids are all in college. Okay, let's... let me see something. If I go back to... Okay, cool. That takes it back to the normal. Thunder just caused your cat to run. We actually had one morning... Hold on. She's going to do something. She's got to go. Cleo. She's going to... If it all goes away, if everything just turns off, it's because you unplugged it. All right. Yes, prayers for everyone. I like it. But yeah, we had a cat... One time we had lightning hit maybe, I don't know, 10 feet away from the house. And the cat literally jumped into my wife's coffee. Fortunately, it wasn't that hot, but it was a mess. Your cat's on the end of the bed. Like she's like, she doesn't get freaked out in storms. She's just kind of walking around. Like I think she saw a mosquito hawk or something, and she's having fun with that, but never a dull moment. But this looks better. You know, we had 7 warnings going on here a little while ago. We're down to 3. Okay, we'll take what we can get. We'll take these small victories. Yes. All right. So outflow moving out on this right here, that is causing these storms to most likely not produce large hail. That's good news. That warning's gone now for Vernon Parish. This stuff out here doesn't look like it's going crazy. That's all behind the front or behind the outflow. And these storms right here, I think we're going to see warnings probably pop on those fairly shortly. Let me... What's that down there? Northwestern Evangeline. And what's that in South? Well, hold on. Yeah, I mean, a little weak broad rotation there, but I don't think anything worth getting crazy about. But if you needed some rain, this is going to get it for you. Now, we get further into the future, and the weather pattern kind of gets weird. I think we're going to see the potential for some more severe weather toward the weekend. But we'll get into that tomorrow. Actually, I'm trying to think of how I'm going to do this. I'll be sleeping in the morning, so I'll just do my live update sometime early afternoon or something like that. We can do that. Alan, after this bout of storms in Allen, is the severe threat over for the morning? Not quite. You have probably another hour or so. I'm going to watch these cells out here. But once that outflow kind of kicks through, I think that's when we're really going to see things start to improve. Now, that is merging with a couple of these cells over near the radar site. So we'll see what happens to that. That's what's going to come through Alexandria. So it's been quiet here, even though like 10 miles south, it's been insane. In the hail, you had hail in Bentley. Yep. Calming down in Bentley. Good news. Good stuff. Yeah, there's not one of these cells right now that is, you know what? Honestly, there's not one of them that's jumping out at me. So what I'm going to do, I've been on for a couple hours plus. I need a break. I'd stay on if it was imminent crazy danger. I'm going to come back shortly, but I think you understand that after a few hours, they need certain breaks in life. So I'm going to go take that break, and I'll be back probably about 10 minutes or so. So you know what I'll do? I'm going to leave the stream up. So if anyone comes in here, just let them know where I'm at. I'm going to take like 2 minutes, fill the water up. You know, I'll be back though. I'm going to turn the audio off, leave the radar up. I'll be back in like 2-3 minutes. Hello. Had to rest the voice for a couple of minutes too. All right, let's see what the hailing and trout. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I just needed a minute to kind of get up and walk and take a second just to collect myself and take a couple ibuprofen because you know how it gets when you're tired. Get a little headache going. Special weather statement on this one, so no warning there. That's good news. I like to see these warnings getting reduced and in some cases canceled. Because what it looks like to me is these cells are taking over. So if we get that little transition where those take over and move through, well, that's going to get out of here fairly quickly. Now, that one right over the radar site, let me go and see what the lightning's looking like. Nothing too crazy. Looking at the Lake Charles radar because, you know, if you pull up the radar that it's sitting over, it just looks kind of goofy. Thank you, Tammy. I appreciate you. I don't do this for money, but it helps that I've been able to actually make a little money because that makes it easier for me to say to my wife, hey, I can't work my real job tomorrow. I guess this is my real job now, too. Oh, yeah, there could be some hail in that one near LeCamp. Let's go to Shreveport, Lake Charles. That one's kind of pulsing up, so that's the next one I'll be watching. Could come into that could actually impact us here in Alexandria too, as that continues on this whole line here, just kind of develop right overhead and split around us. And I know that some of you have not seen this split around you. Gina, you're just getting absolutely hammered. It's camera time. Let's take a look at the Gina camera, see if it's still there. See, I don't know if it doesn't. Yeah, if there's no lightning, then I'm having to think that the power might be out there or something. Yeah, we would see lightning there for sure. Good, it'll be another camera for me to fix, and it's only 200 feet up. That'll be fun to climb that tower. No, I can't climb that tower. Got to have licenses and all that stuff. Plus, I fall off ladders, so I'm not that smart. But yeah, that's the next storm I'm watching. Kind of the main concern level, I guess, right now, but it's not a massive concern. Hey, good morning, sweetheart. Aw, you want to come say hi to everybody? Kristen just peeked at me. Let's see. Yeah, I would imagine it's really loud up in Gina. Lots of lightning, and that's increasing as it comes on through. Big time lightning with that cell in Western Rapids. I mean, you can see where the lightning is here. The count was up to 2,800. We're at 3,150 now. And there's a new warning coming out for Catahoula and Concordia and parts of Adams County, Mississippi. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Severe thunderstorm warning for southwestern Tensas, Concordia, Catahoula, and western Adams County until 4:30 a.m. At 3:25 a.m., a severe thunderstorm was located near Walters, or 16 miles west of Jonesville, moving east at 45. So that's like around Texaco Town, moving east toward Jonesville. Golf ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. That is going to be your threat with that one. I just refilled it. Thank you. So I get the whole day off tomorrow, right? Love you. Good night again. All right. So Gina, Nebo, Bela, Walters. This is what prompted that new warning, is this cell out here. Again, fortunately, it looks like the hail size has gone down a bit on these storms. We'll see what these do out here in Western Rapids. But so far, no warnings on those. These are looking like they are losing a little bit of steam. There's still lightning with them and everything, but those, they've just kind of been chilling out there for a few hours. They're just kind of slowly sinking southward. You can see all that lightning all across the area. That was one thing we knew. These were going to be full of lightning with all that ice suspended in the clouds. So, severe thunderstorm warnings right now. Whoops. Okay, we have one for, this is the most recent one. This goes until 4:30 a.m. For Catahoula and Concordia Parish. Then we have the one for LaSalle that still includes Grant. I think this one's going to go away shortly. That thing should. So if you're in that warning, don't worry. If you're in the one for Gina, LaSalle Parish still looks pretty rough. Doesn't look quite as bad with that cell over Western Grant, although you might be seeing some small hail there in Colfax out of this one. No rotation showing on radar. I'm just clicking through the products, but let's go on the hail swath and see what we have there. Put that in motion over the last hour. And you can see we had some craziness up there around Pacton. I've had one picture. You know what? Let me see if I can manage this. Okay. Oops. Save to downloads. I'm just going to send this and see if I can do this on the fly. So basically, this is a picture of the hail earlier. Let me get the actual reflectivity, just the regular radar back up. Put that in motion, and I'll leave that there for a second as I try to pop this into the system. This is going to show you the hail that was falling in Pacton earlier on. All right. Send anyway. All right, severe thunderstorm warnings continuing. Looks like it's about to get a little louder here in Alexandria. Those warnings continuing for Catahoula and Concordia until 4:30. That one, that's gone. That's done. They just haven't canceled it yet. And then this one here actually, did that one expire over Grant? Yeah, okay, they let that one go. And the LaSalle part. Now, I don't know, because, I mean, this area right here, right, moving into Archie and Walters, I don't think they're going to reissue that warning. But if you are, let's see. Hold on one second. Just want to make sure I'm saying this right. Yeah, that's Catahoula Lake. Okay. If you're over, like, near Catahoula Lake, that's where we, I think, could see some hail out of this. Also seeing a hail signature showing up on radar just near Colleen and Laboose. I will be looking for a report from Mr. Convica if he's awake. No text just yet. And then this cell kind of coming together out there in Western Rapids. So let me go ahead and get that hail picture up, see if I can do this on the fly. We'll see if it works. Who knows? All right, download it. I'm mainly trying to see how easy this is for future reference. Downloads, okay. All right, we're going to go for it. So you're just going to have to sit with me for a second on this one. Should not take long at all. I'm going to have a blank frame that's going to come up. This all doesn't matter. We're just going to add a graphic into it. And this is hail earlier from Pacton, Louisiana. And this was sent to me from, let me see, so I give the proper credit. Whoops. This was sent from Pearl Shelton Prince. And that is hail that fell earlier around Pacton. They said golf ball. It looks at least golf ball to me, maybe a little bigger. But that'll do some damage. This was around Pacton. Gosh, that was sent to me at 2:45. I think that fell a little bit earlier than that. But I wanted to go in and show you that, and mainly wanted to see if I could do that on the fly. And now we've learned that we can. So right now we have severe thunderstorm warnings continuing over parts of Catahoula, or all of Catahoula and Concordia. A lot of that shifting into Mississippi, but we still have storms firing up. In fact, looks like another interesting one here over southern Vernon. Now look at that. Watch this. Nothing's there. And then just boom. That's just how fast these things are developing. So very fast movement on these things and just how they're changing so quickly. Let me see if they're talking about a warning on that one. So far, I'm not seeing anything. Special weather statements. Okay. All right, but look at that. I mean, so we go back 326 over Rose Pine, nothing. And then we're right up to probably at least small hail being produced out of that storm. I think it's about to get loud here in Alexandria. We're going to see more lightning out of these cells as they continue on toward the northeast or east, and plenty of other cells to go. These out in Texas, I think they're going to kind of sag to the south. Those will stay away from us. But still, this shortwave, this piece of energy aloft, is going to keep these thunderstorms sustained for the next couple of hours. So pulling the lightning off, I'll put things in motion, and you can see how things are, you know, it moves through. It looks like, okay, Western Rapids Parish, not much going on. And then just right like that. When you have this kind of a setup, when you have this kind of a profile in the atmosphere, it's not too surprising to see that. Okay. Let me clean things up here. See the comments. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Hail and Gina with a question mark. Probably not now if you haven't seen it. I mean, this cell behind you could bring a little, but I don't think that's going to be that bad. Don't see hail and choline. Good. Hailing bad and Effie. How big, if you don't mind me asking? Looks like you could see some hail moving into Cheneyville shortly. I don't think it's that big. But when we see those pinks showing up, that's when I think we could at least see some small hail. Yeah, Mark, I figured you'd be awake. Mark Williams, yeah, he's my igloo roofing man of the roofs of Cenla. This man will get out there tomorrow. He's going to be out there, I guarantee you, pounding the pavement and trying to help you out if you had roof damage. So you guys know Igloo Roofing. They're on every logo. They're on everything that we do. They are the reason this all started. So please, if you don't have, if your son's not a roofer or something, please use them if you have roof damage or anything like that. 318-731-3088. Yes, I don't like to do commercials during this stuff, but we will be talking about that tomorrow. Should you see any roof damage, we'll definitely be plugging them hard. So thunderstorms moving toward Toledo Bend again. We've been seeing that lightning continuing out that way, but these are weaker. These we can handle all day long. Bunkie, you could see some hail. Looks like the worst of that cell is going to stay just to your north, but we'll see how this evolves. These storms over western Rapides could be producing at least some small hail, and then this one over southwest or south central Vernon Parish, watching that very closely. Yeah, it's getting loud in a lot of places. But these storms are filling in now from southern Grant down through western Rapides, Vernon Parish, and I guess the hope there is going to be that that's the final push through, and that's what the models are indicating. So that's some pretty awesome news. Lightning like crazy, loud. Yes, it is loud, loud, loud out there. But right now, the only warnings are here in our northeastern quadrant for eastern LaSalle. They're still in that warning. So Gina, you are still in that warning now. They reissued. No, they didn't issue. They did not take that away. They kept that going. They just trimmed it back. And then Catahoula and Concordia with that storm. We'll see how these behave over the next little while, and if we see any warnings come up with those. The good news is I'm not seeing more hail like earlier. Again, I just showed this. This was earlier in Pacton. That's the size hail we had. That's the biggest picture I've seen so far. And, I'm sure someone saw something bigger than that, but it is quite wild. No, stop that. But yeah, that's what we were talking about. That's how big that hail was. Now, I'm going to look at hold on. Just playing with the Marshall Tucker Band poster. I guess I have to keep it up here. So professional. Oh, good. The lightning's flashing again. Camera's back. Awesome. Okay, so Gina's not broken. That would have been sad. Alexandria, let's take a look out there right now. Yeah, okay, good. I have flashing. Okay, there's lightning. Good. So I'm just making sure cameras are in working order and everything. But getting more lightning on the horizon out there. I think we're going to see that storm roll through here in the next little while. Let's go back over to the radar and take a look at what we have. We have a special weather statement that was issued. I'll go ahead and read that because a lot of us are going to be impacted by that one. Strong thunderstorms will impact central Rapides, southeastern Vernon, and northeastern Allen Parish through 4 a.m. Doppler radar was tracking strong thunderstorms along a line from near Heinston to Fullerton. Movement was east at 50. I like them speeding up like that. Get them out of here. Wind gusts up to 40. That's going to be your main issue with these. Maybe some small hail as well. Severe thunderstorm warnings continue to the northeast for parts of LaSalle, Catahoula, and Concordia with that band of storms there. And then we have that special weather statement that was just issued here. Let's check the lightning. I'll pause it. Yeah, we're seeing some lightning popping with these. Just trying to see. Yeah. That cell right there has had a lot of that. It's right where the updraft is. You can see that lightning really kind of taking off there. Yeah. Oh, if you're down toward Hammond, you're going to be getting hammered or later. You're gonna see You're going to see some solid storms come through for sure. But I will be asleep by then because I cover central Louisiana. So that's as far as I take it. I take down to St. Landry, Avoyelles, Concordia. Once it clears them, it's nap time. Or I don't know if you call it nap or actually sleeping at this point. Getting loud in Georgetown again. Yeah, you've got this one coming through. That cell moves through, and then I think you are done. You can see these cells continuing out there in around Hemp Hill, Texas, the southwestern side of Toledo Bend. But these cells are not severe. They're just producing some lightning and some heavy rain. So this could move through Leesville. I think you're going to see this. You're going to see another little batch of showers and storms, but I don't think it's going to be as rough as what we have seen in some areas earlier. No warnings for Southern Grant right now. Actually, that cell looks a little weaker than the one you had earlier. It's about to get a little ruckus going on here in Alexandria, though. You can see these cells that are moving in from the west. That will probably bring some gusty winds, maybe 30 miles per hour. Nothing off the charts, though. And then there is the possibility for a little hail. And then this cell down here near Rose Pine looks like it's growing a little bit. Notice I'm not doing like the vertical slices and stuff anymore that I was doing earlier because these cells, they don't look like they're nearly as robust as as what they were earlier. Now, that being said, there could be up around where 24 and 28 and 84 hit there, up around Archie and Walters. That's where we could see that that hail could be possible there around Archie. So if you're between Archie and Jonesville, that's where this one's going to be moving. And then maybe also some hail just north of Buckeye there around Holloway, some smaller hail. Hail's not gone yet. Like you should be asleep. You get up for school at 6:30. Oh, gosh. Yeah, it's going to be a long day. But that is, this is from the radar closest to home here. A lot of special weather statements, but not a lot of warnings. I hear it, though. I don't know if you heard that. Yeah, the lightning is absolutely insane. And not so much here where I'm at, but just looking at, I mean, again, we were around 3,100s. I'm waiting to see this number go down. 3,068 strikes in the last 15 minutes, and most of that is over Louisiana. And most of that, I mean, just in this zone, like, most of that lightning is in this small area right here. So 3,000 plus strikes in 15 minutes. Not a ton of warnings. I have not seen a tornado warning yet. And I don't say that with any disappointment in my voice. But lots of hail reports, lots of warnings for hail. We've had some destructive hail potentially over southern Wynne into northern Grant and maybe even northwestern LaSalle Parish. This is all going to sweep out of the area in the next couple of hours. So I'll put it in motion. Let's go long form on this. Let's go 3 hours. So over the last 3 hours, we have seen these storms cycle through some craziness up to the north. We've seen things kind of redevelop out to the west here. It's not typically you see that line move through that first line, and that's going to take your instability. In this case, given the setup, that's not exactly how it's working, but you can see the general trend is for everything to move from west to east and get on through the area. So once these showers and thunderstorms kind of push through, we'll start to see, I think we'll start to see some of these parishes and counties in Texas get pulled off of the watch, and we'll see things start to kind of return to normal. And then it just pushes down to the southeast. Baton Rouge in the morning, Lafayette, well, I guess it's morning now, Slidell, New Orleans, Hammond, Covington. That's where this is all headed, but that'll be way, way out of here by then. Looking to see what we have going on at home. I see the lightning flashing outside. Don't worry if the power goes out. Got that Ward electric generator ready to go. So if the lights go off, it's only going to take me about 10 seconds for everything to pop back on. Not getting any good hail signatures over Alexandria right now or in Rapides Parish, so that's good. Really, The only reason I'm staying on right now is because this is probably when more people are going to get woken up by the thunder. It's getting loud here in Alexandria, so this is more, I just want to be up just to kind of stay on and keep your mind at ease. And then I'll probably take a little break here shortly. And then if we see any more significant warnings, I'll come back. Pouring ball again. Yep, you know, again, when we see the pink, maybe some small hail. Not hearing any here, just hearing the rain and the thunder so far. But that is the traffic circle right there, West Alexandria in the heavy rain now. This will be moving downtown shortly. So if you are downtown, if you're down in the Garden District, you'll probably see that picking up here in the next minute or so. Non-stop lightning. Yeah, I can't imagine the lightning you guys have seen up in Georgetown. You guys have been kind of one of the ground zero points with all this stuff. Let's see that one. Hail. Yeah. See, this is the hail swath. This shows us our most likely areas where we saw damaging hail. And like I said earlier, around Paxton, we had that report of, or that picture of 2-inch diameter hail roughly. Had golf ball size hail reported in Colgrade. So everywhere from Winfield, Colgrade, Moore, Paxton, that area probably had some hail damage, possibly down there into Southern Grant Parish as well. Right now, we have 2 warnings going on. Actually, only one in our area, so that's the one for Catahoula and Concordia. It is a little loud here in town, but no warnings. I don't see a significant threat. You know what, guys? I'm going to cut it off. I'm not going to bed. I'm just going to sit here and put my feet up for a minute. We cool? We good with that? I think it's time. All right, I'm going to take a break here. I'll be in the chair waiting to jump back on. Maybe I won't. We will see. Maybe I'll do maybe I'll do something at the end where, I don't know. We'll see. I'll see you back here. If not now, sometime in the morning, or actually early afternoon, because I'll be sleeping in the morning. But I am here if anything pops off. I'll see ya.
No matter the weather, Alexandria Emergency Hospital is always here for you. Rain or shine, our